the better part of a decade, the International has invited the world's finest Dota teams to wage battle for the Aegis of Champions and the largest prize pools in all of esports. Fans from around the world have come together to celebrate this shared passion. Live at the tournament and in gatherings across the globe. Now we assemble once more to honor the moments that define us and witness the genesis of things never seen before. Ours is a fire that burns the world over. The Aegis awaits in the heart of Seattle, but the international spirit resides in us all. For the first time, the Aegis stands undefended. 16 teams compete for ultimate glory. Only one can forge a new legend. Who will emerge victorious? The battle begins.
It is the final day of the International 7. Team Liquid will face LFY, and the winner of that will go to the Grand Finals against Newbie, where we will crown the 7th champion of the International. Come on out to the Key Arena here in Seattle, Washington. There's an enormous broadcast outside, and of course, tens of thousands of fans are heading in for the action indoors. My name is Day9. I'm joined by Ake, Merlini, and PPD. And we have seen some insane upsets, some crazy close matches, and all-around great Dota. How are you gentlemen doing this fine morning?
Super good. It's just cold here outside.
It is actually very cold outside this morning. It's been so hot, so bright all day. It's a little cooler here. We're a little shivery, but of course, Dota's happening soon.
It's an exciting time.
Yeah.
We're here again, 12 months later, back at another TI Finals.
And if we actually take a look at what has happened leading up to this point, there have been some pretty surprise results. You know, some of the big themes we've talked about is Chinese Dota doing so unbelievably well. 3 out of the top 4 were Chinese teams. Evil Geniuses having a really heartbreaking exit early on in the tournament. What were some of the big upsets in your eyes?
I think most of that Liquid made it all from the second round in the lower bracket to the lower bracket finals. That's just an amazing round, and we'll see if they make it the whole way.
They've had a really nice run. I think we can be impressed by the wins that they've done in the lower bracket. But I wouldn't, you know, before this tournament, I don't think it'd be too surprising to see Liquid's top 3.
Yeah, I mean, Liquid was expected to do well at this tournament, and their run in the lower bracket really displays that. Battling against Team Secret right when they hit lowers, narrowly winning 2-1 and continuing more and more and more. They just look better and better and better. They're not winding up in wonky drafts and tough situations. I feel like their last win last night was almost just a draft win.
I thought LGD was going to present a bigger challenge than that.
Yeah.
So then I'm actually like, maybe Liquid is that good.
Well, for any of you who are watching at home, please join in the conversation on all your social medias, Twitter, Instagram. We want to see if you're here. We want to see photos of the back of our heads on our Twitter feeds. We want to hear your votes for who you think is going to be winning the match. And Merlini, I haven't heard from you yet what you think are some of the huge results that have happened at this event.
Obviously, Liquid going this far, I don't think we've given enough appreciation to the patch. I think there was a lot of skepticism surrounding 7.00, but with the talents, adding a lot of strategic plays for heroes to be in multiple roles, and the shrines, adding this whole new element to the game, I think that we can all agree that this is one of the best patches ever. And there was 2 heroes announced yesterday, but I didn't really feel like there was that sense of urgency for the 2 heroes. Everyone normally when a patch is born is like, oh my god, when's the next hero coming out? When's the next patch coming out? But this time it's just a bonus.
Yeah, it's been really, really cool to see the way that talents have really influenced everything. And of course, I don't think we've gotten the chance to see how the 2 new heroes will be playing out. And of course, everything disrupts the meta. Now, if any of you didn't catch the action leading up to today, let's take a look at what happened leading up to the final day of the International 7. 5 teams remain, and today 2 will be knocked out and 1 will be the first team to advance to the grand final.
LGD versus Invictus Gaming. He needs this kill with the Sonic Wave. The damage amplification is just way too much. Invictus Gaming, 4 heroes down. They call GG in sub 20 minutes. IG once again on the run from LGD. Somnus back into the fight, but the double stun is doing work. The silence as well. Arme so low. Man, to start the air. Go slam. Space created. Arme can blink away. LGD in dominating fashion have removed Invictus Gaming from TI.
And the winner of TI7 cosplay is Clockwork.
It is the winner's bracket final to determine who will be the first finalist of TI7.
Trying to go for Faith, he's gone as well. They've lost 2
Oh
men,
my
he's
god,
gone as well.
that damage.
But it's just too damn big at this stage. GG is called. We are going to be going to a game 3. They get the call, the blade mail, the static storm, they're bringing him down over Mornay, still alive, they can't quite
Next, get him.
Mornay is down, and now Newbie moving for more.
The stun on 2.
Next, the ultra kill for Moogie, it's a team wipe.
And they call GG.
Newbie are your first grand finalists here at the International 2017.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dendi!
Okay, this guy is scary.
Oh, no, no, no! Oh! The hands are shaking. Dendi, are you giving up?
Yep, he's too strong.
We have seen many in a big match fall prey to this Dazzle Huskar.
Team Liquid doing the not Dota draft. It's going to be the elimination match. Team Liquid versus LGD.
LGD want to take this engagement. Miracle jumping in first, the Fissure coming through, but now Somnus left to the Wolves. Liquid, no mind games now. Straight down the middle lane. Miracle starting to heat up. He's heating up. Give him another. He wants more. Bulldozing his way through 11. Liquid surge in. They want this tower. GG! Liquid has done it!
In days 1 and 2, so many of the players were very calm after their wins, trying to stay very focused and collected. But the closer you get to the grand finals, I love seeing these teams lose their mind after their winning matches. Watching Newbie advance to the grand final yesterday was a real treat. And now, it's really kind of anyone's tournament, I feel like. I mean, is there any clear leader in your eyes?
I think Liquid has a very good shot at winning, and yeah, I think it's mostly that because for me, they just play good with Coddle and Wisp, but they have really shown that they can actually pick other heroes as well and like perform super well. I think the second game yesterday, people might have felt that it was a bit cheap that they picked Huskar and Brood, but they really they played so well with it. They pushed their limits with the Huskar so good and was able to get kills that I think most teams would actually have lost that game if they had the same lineup.
I feel like they really know themselves really well at this point and developing their strategies and the heroes they like to play over the course of this tournament, especially through that lower bracket. I think that they're coming in today incredibly confident in what they know and what they play. But I'm not totally sold that LFY and Newbie aren't on another level.
Yeah, I mean, I think that one of the weirdest things for me to personally see yesterday was the fact that LGD dominated their games 2-0 and then got dominated 2-0. And you bring up that idea of yeah, I mean, Team Liquid's looking good, but what if LFY and Newbie are just on this next level as well? And of course, we have good old Coach Purge, and I want to hear your thoughts, Kevin, on what you think the top 3 is going to look like.
Well, I'm not really sure where the finals are gonna end up, but I think the important match to look at from yesterday was the LFY newbie match. I think there's a lot that Liquid can look at there to see, at least based on draft patterns and things like that, to see who's gonna end up winning. Now, one of the crucial games from yesterday was game 1 here, LFY versus newbie. Now, newbie had a good laning stage. It gave them an advantage, so a place that LFY doesn't have to play against very often, but it put them in this weird place where they're behind. In almost every single game of that series that they played yesterday, they had this fight between 10 to 15 minutes where the outcome really changed the tempo of the game based depending on who was going to go further ahead. And the cool thing that LFY did this game with their Medusa pick was because they didn't have defensive supports, they needed the focus to be on Medusa. And this works pretty well because she can get ruptured, and it's not that big of a deal because any damage that she takes is going to mostly reduce her mana and do a little bit less damage to her hero. And what she did was, with a really fast blade mail purchase, a very inexpensive item that is effective on heroes like Medusa because she reflects the full damage, it allowed LFY basically to force their overfarmed opponents to focus on her instead. And then when she pops Blade Mail as well as her ultimate, it basically forces newbie to disengage for a moment, and finally they end up committing on her. Now, usually you don't want to focus on her first, but if you do, what happens afterwards, and the cool thing that they did here, is with the Lich over here, he ends up casting his Chain Frost, which basically forces newbie to have to split away, because if they try to focus on the Medusa together at the same moment, they're all going to get killed because the Chain Frost can hit so many heroes. So this is like a 20-second clip of Super the Medusa being focused, despite them being behind, and ultimately they do get the kill, but at the same time period, we've got a dead sniper on the top of the map because he was focused by the backline. So the important thing to remember in this clip is mostly vision here. So if we go back a little bit and you scroll up to the top, it's actually Night Stalker Ag's time, or ultimate time. So that means the vision of his opponents are reduced. So they had to go in the Medusa here. And what we saw consistently throughout this series was Night Stalker picked almost every time, and I think there's little tells like this and how these games played out that Liquid needs to use to make sure that they can reach that next level of LFY and newbie.
Night Stalker is one of LFY's favorite heroes, almost picking it first 2 every single game if it's not banned.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been one of the most dominant heroes this entire tournament, picked and banned over 100 times just on the main stage, or excuse me, in group stages and main stage. Now, one of the big questions I want to ask is, we saw newbie and LFY just storm their way to the winners bracket finals. We're seeing Team Liquid crawl their way back up through lowers. What, in your eyes, is the big team that is a surprise not to see on this final day of TI?
Oh, it's tough to say.
EG or VP, I would say, one of those two. EG probably more so for me. I had them at first. I had like an EG Liquid winners bracket finals, and they didn't really go very far at all. Dropped immediately, didn't win a series on the main stage.
That would have been exciting for sure. I think OG, something to be said there. You know, won both the majors this year coming into this tournament. Didn't place better than last year, but still not the results they were really looking for.
Also, it doesn't seem like there were that many instances of teams just falling apart on the main stage. A lot of them were very, very close games in the lower brackets. I mean, what is it that you think, what actually was the biggest upset of this entire tournament?
Biggest upset.
IG LGD was surprisingly not close at all. I would say, I mean, maybe the result wasn't that surprising, but the way they lost was very surprising to me. Like, IG didn't even put up a fight. They did not look like a top 6 team at all.
Yeah, I thought LGD as well. Yesterday was going to put up a much better fight against Liquid. So if that's how you want to think about upsets rather than just win-loss, then I agree with that.
For me, I just thought that Secret would like come further than they did.
It was weird watching both like Liquid and EG and all these great teams come from the lower bracket. It's like, even if you start in like the bottom of your groups and then you had to battle through, you're playing against all these titans right away.
And I guess it just comes from that we didn't really think that all of these teams from China was perform this well. So like for us, who was like thinking, oh, EG and OG and Secret, they're probably gonna be up there, and then they like all of them end up in the lower bracket. Then
yeah, top 4. There was what, 3 Chinese teams in VP.
Yeah, for
the winner bracket, and we were all. I mean, you were expecting EG to win. I was expecting similar things. Oh, I'm gonna get myself in trouble up here. Yeah, no, I just EG, Liquid, OG. I thought these teams would be some of the top 6 teams, but them not really being in there is like surprising.
Yeah. Now, as we take a closer look to today, Note that in the lower bracket, not only did Team Liquid fall first round and then win all the way up to the top 4 spots, so did LGD, the team that fell at the end of last night. Both of them had strong lower bracket runs, but now Team Liquid will be facing LFY. That will be our first match of the day, and following that will be the best of 5 grand final. So let's take a look at Team Liquid versus LFY. Let's start talking about that matchup, beginning with LFY, the team that looked like the most dominant in this entire event. What is LFY looking like now?
I mean, they're still one of the strongest teams for sure, and I think they match up quite good against Liquid with that they prioritize this NS pick a lot, which is actually very good against Keeper of the Light. So they might try to go for something like that, that they leave the Coddle and take the NS, but at the same time, other teams have actually tried this and they lost, so...
That's true. Liquid could also just ban it if it's something that LFY turns to so frequently. For me, I think it's a little different because this is the first time where LFY has actually lost a series. Even in like group stages, I think at worst they went 1-1 in games that didn't matter. But when they had to win, they were undefeated. And you know, yesterday we saw them lose to Newbie. It was a really close series. I think the surprise pick and maybe the hero that they're like thinking about more is Bloodseeker.
You said they got cheesed by them.
I don't.
Cheesed by Bloodseeker.
Well, it's, you know, sometimes these heroes emerge where it's like, wow, maybe this hero is that good. And Newbie identified that Bloodseeker was their favorite pick. They brought it into the first 2 of their draft, and they didn't really, you know, it's not like we saw a bunch of cores on the other team. They were just like, this hero's good, we're gonna pick it, and
they picked Earth Spirit and Bloodseeker first 2, all of the like 3 games. So
every single match, and with that, they helped show that LFY is actually mortal. And now it's time to go to a very special person. One of the most notable morning greeters. It's Casey. You've been talking all week how excited you are for the final day. How you doing, Casey?
I'm good. We are so excited, and we, as you know, you've been seeing some of our player interviews. We sat down, we did some very serious one-on-ones with a member of every single team that came to TI. But at the end, we thought we need to loosen these guys up a little bit. So I came up with some rapid-fire questions. You've seen some of the answers so far, but here's an example. What's your favorite food?
Oh, man, burritos.
Who's your favorite team?
Liquid, dude.
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Okay, see? You guys did a great job. Are you excited for this? Who's excited? Okay, so that's an example of how rapid fire works. Here's how it worked when we sat down with several of your favorite pro players.
You ready for some rapid fire questions? What is your favorite meal?
Chicken fillet. Pineapple.
Wait, question 1? We can't get past question 1.
I make a pizza and then I add pineapple. It's much better.
That's it.
Yeah.
It makes the whole thing taste better.
Peanuts.
I don't believe you. Biggest pet peeve or things that annoy you?
Girlfriend.
Are you sure you want that to be your answer? If you could be any animal, what would you be?
Peregrine falcon.
I'm sorry?
Peregrine falcon.
And why is that?
They're really fast.
Fish.
A snake, I think.
Oh God, why? Puppies or kittens?
Puppies. Kittens.
Go. Kittens, of course.
Yes. Oh, look at that face. Were you gonna say neither? Do you not like either?
No.
You don't like puppies or kittens?
No.
You are stranded on a deserted island, but you can bring 3 things. What do you bring?
A working Wi-Fi router, a computer, and that's pretty much all I need. Can I just go with 2 things?
You just want 2 things. Wait, I'm sorry. I have to back up for a second. So, do you like pets at all? Birds. Do you like birds?
No.
Fish.
No.
Turtles. What 3 things do you bring?
手机、电脑和女朋友。
Girlfriend last on the list? You meant to say girlfriend first, right? Yeah. Looking out for you.
Water tank.
Okay.
And farms. Can I bring farms? I'm not sure.
Dota farms or regular farms?
Oh, regular farms.
Regular farms. Pet rats.
No.
Pet snake?
Toothbrush.
Okay.
Toothpaste. And pizza.
Pizza to a deserted island.
Yeah, so I eat the pizza, I enjoy the view, and then brush my teeth.
You know what? That's not a bad answer.
Phone, Wi-Fi, and cigarettes.
Okay. Look at that. Huh?
Yeah. It's good.
Now do you like cats?
I don't know.
Well, you know you're you're a cat lady when you actually literally start whipping out your camera to show biscuit of the buttery biscuits to everybody in a Dota team. So I apologize for that, but we really appreciate all the players being in such an amazing sport about us asking those questions. We're hanging out here in the crowd. You guys are looking good, right? Yeah. You know, Slacks is way over. Where are you, Slacks? You're way over in the back end of the crowd, right? Where are you?
Hey, hi, Casey. Actually, I'm right here, Casey. Hi. I'm right next to you.
Oh, hey!
Hi, hey! Inception. I'm here with the fans, too. We're on this side, sir. What are you hoping to see today here at TI?
Some really great Dota.
Yeah? Who do you think's going to win?
I hope Liquid wins.
Liquid wins? Is that where you're going more? Any words of encouragement?
Go GH.
Go GH. Nice. All right. What do we got here?
Hey.
Hello. Any words of encouragement out there?
Yeah, GH God, go Team Liquid. Woo!
Woo! All right, fantastic. Come on.
GH, shake him.
It's all GH? Do we have anyone else that's not a fan of Liquid? Come on.
Liquid. Not Liquid.
Wrong place. Anyway, I had to go early yesterday, by the way. A traumatic experience happened to me. But I'm here all day today. Maybe I should show you. Why don't you guys take a look? Right?
Reverse captain's mode.
Why do they use the default announcer at TI? You'd think they'd have something better by now, right? Dude, tell me about it. I mean, Casey could make a more up-to-date one right now. Yeah.
Sir Action Slacks doesn't need another cookie.
What did you say? I didn't say anything. Whatever, dude. I don't need any more cookies.
Sir Action Slacks is buying nachos.
What is that?
That's nacho cheese, Sir Action
no, this
Slacks.
is not happening.
Sir Action Slacks is walking the concourse.
What is that?
Sir Action Slacks has fallen. Sir Action Slacks needs more fiber. Sir Action Slacks cannot escape. I see you, Sir Action Slacks.
Jeez, what's his problem?
Sir Action Slacks must be stopped. Sir Action Slacks has been dealt with appropriately.
Yeah, so it's okay. She's joined the other voices in the head, so no big deal there. But yeah, everybody's still funneling in there. And if we all ready for the dose? Is that the last man in right there? Oh, no, get out of my shot.
Go LFY.
All right, there we go. The last man. Hello.
Hello.
Are you ready?
LF1.
Yes. All right, LFI, the fans are in. The games are ready. Are you guys ready over there on the desk?
Oh my God, we're so ready, Slacks. Thank you.
Oh, hey, before you guys go, could I tell you a joke real quick? You had a horrible joke yesterday.
Oh my God, it was actually only fun for me, I think.
All right, check this one out.
I'm ready.
They say that the panel is real sexy, but I only watch it for the plot.
That was another one of those that's more fun for you than for me.
That one was awesome.
Thanks, guys. Great to see you.
You know, one of the things I love when you ask Dota players, like, okay, you're going to go to a desert island. What do you bring? As it turns out, all the people here in the top 16 teams of the International, they kind of just want to play Dota.
And they want to starve to death. Some of them, right?
Yeah, right.
They want this Wi-Fi and computers. Like, I don't need food or something.
No, I was very ambitious to bring an entire farm. Like, make a whole ecosystem, plan the entire thing out.
It's a good plan.
I remember Kevin was telling me that at one of the after parties, there was like some PCs set up at one of the events earlier this year, and literally everyone just went and played Dota for 8 hours until like 5 in the morning.
That was one of the best after parties. I love that.
Yeah.
We don't ever get to play. I never played with you, either of you two.
We played at the DSC LAN Center.
Aside from that, that was a one-time thing.
Oh, well, you're
we
welcome.
played at Dota 1, right?
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
It's a different Merlini.
It was enough for me.
Yeah.
Well, I think the players are much like us. We're just in the mood for some awesome Dota. It's going to be Liquid going up against LFY. And this is, I feel like, a battle of different approaches, different ideologies starting off the day.
It feels like that is the reason why there's been so many games that's been like 2-0, because you can play the game in a lot of ways, and some ways are better against like some other playstyles. And like we could see that VP, they won like some games 2-0, like super easy in the upper bracket, and then they struggled in the lower bracket straight away.
Well, I don't really think they had themselves figured out. That was like on day one of day two in Liquid. They weren't really picking any disables, and they were kind of, I wasn't a big fan of their drafts. But now, later into this tournament, I think they've really come together. I think they're I think Kroki's on top of it.
It's a little weird to see a team get progressively better as the tournament goes on. Well, I don't want to say better, but the games are getting more one-sided in Liquid's fashion.
Yeah, you'd think, you know, the better the competition gets, the closer the matches would get, but maybe Liquid is just figuring themselves out more, and everybody's just kind of waiting on them and saying, oh, you know, we can handle them. And then when they get there, it's a whole different thing.
Feels like it's just going to be tough for LFY to know how they're going to approach it, because I think Liquid have won against, is it 5 teams in the lower bracket? And they're going to see that, oh, they were trying this and they lost. They were trying this and they lost. And I'm going to try this and they lost.
Yeah. I don't think they've played each other either, right? They were in different groups and they didn't see each other.
Sounds right.
They haven't seen each other in the brackets yet.
Yeah.
Finals day on its way.
This is a big day for a lot of people. The last day of the International. Prize pool is higher than it has ever been. It is nearly 25 million right now.
What do you do with $2 million as a Dota player?
You play Dota till 5 in the morning. No, you get nice suits.
No. You just play more Dota. That's the crazy thing. Is like a lot of these guys will end up here and they'll go party, and then tomorrow everyone will be chilling, trying to get over their hangover, and they'll just go play Dota in their hotel rooms.
That has truly been the hardest part about this entire event, is that I've not played Dota all week.
It's rough.
Yeah.
The International has a very particular way of inspiring people to play the game.
Yeah, that's what made me play, was TI.
Yep. I'm looking forward to playing tomorrow.
Well, you heard the horn. That means that the day is about to get underway. Our first team will be coming out to the main stage for the first match of the final day. Please join me in welcoming LFY. God bless these crowds. I mean, we are hundreds of feet from the venue. We are outside, and you can hear the crowd so loudly. LFY has so many fans who've come out to support them today. And their opponents, of course, no strangers to the scenes, the legendary Team Liquid. This team has been continuing to gain momentum as time has gone on. Kuroki appears to have figured out his drafting. Many of their games are carried by their position 1 and 2 players, Matumba Man, and of course, Miracle, one of the most legendary mid players in Dota history. Let's take a closer look at Miracle.
If you want to spend 20 hours a day for like 6 years, no matter what you do, you're going to be good at it. Especially when you have the talent. That's what happened with HAMBURG.
HAMBURG started playing when he was very young, maybe 6, 7 years old.
When we were young, like people here in Jordan mostly go to the internet cafes.
Like in Jordan, that's the thing that where you actually meet friends. as a teenager for me and for Amr, you don't have too much things to do. That's why people like the same age of ours play Dota all the time.
Amr was super curious where we go. He started convincing my mama, I want to go with my brothers, I want to see what they do there. We start taking him with us, and he started learning, watching.
In the beginning, my mom was very supportive. Kept telling that, yeah, I'm gonna join a team. It didn't happen, but she kept saying that it's fine, you'll find your way.
People usually follow competitive Dota before they become pro, but he didn't know anyone. Even when I asked him, like, did you watch TI 1, 2, 3? He's like, nope, never heard of it. In that sense, he's very unique. He just played the game, and apparently he's so talented that he just got picked up.
After high school, maybe after like 2 to 3 weeks, some of the pro players talked to me about the gaming thing. So it was pretty fortunate for me, let's put it that way. I actually didn't know what direction do I want to go for. I was like pretty confused, and I was in the middle, like, what do I want to do?
I think Amr is a person that lives in the moment. Doesn't feel like he is worried about a lot of things in his future, or maybe even the next day. He just takes things very lightly.
He just lives his life the way he likes to do it. He just doesn't care what happens next.
والله إلك الله أنط عليه نط هذا أوه حلو يا هلا يا هلا هذا شكله راح يعض علي اوبا ايش صغير وين عمر؟ لا مالنا لو اطلع ايش برو لا مش هيوصلك طب 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 طب.
Because of his carefree behavior, he naturally understands that he should just focus on what's in front of him.
I don't really think much about the goals outside of the game, you know. Like, it's only in the game.
His level of focus is something uncomparable to any player I've ever seen. I've seen a lot of players grow and become excellent at the game, but when he looks at the screen while he plays, it's as if he's in the game, as if he's in the battlefield. It becomes a beautiful picture in the game.
Most of the players play Dota because they wanna do something later. I wanna play Dota because I wanna win TI. He wants to win TI, but he just wins TI without thinking about winning TI. He plays Dota because he wants to have fun. Living in the moment, let's say.
We've seen teams down 0-1, teams that go from winners to lowers and fall apart under the pressure. Miracle has done the exact opposite, having better and better performances, and it really seems like just across the board on Liquid, they are on fire.
Hiroki's done a really good job these last 2 years of building a team that works for him and that he's like has this like sort of cohesion. You know, right now he's playing with arguably 4 core players, playing this like incredibly hard position 5 and just enabling them to do the things that they are good at, and they work incredibly well together.
I think that honestly they have shown some of the most versatility as well in terms of how they have been adjusting over the course of the game.
Yeah, they're also one of the teams that actually like to switch between the mid and the safe lane, and that is also like strength for the team. That the opponents don't like, they don't really know if it's gonna be Miracle mid or Miracle safe lane, you know. So
I think it's because they're traditional 1, 2, and 3 cores. I think everybody's playing around GH. You know, whether he's more so like the Caudal and Wisp, but like even like the Night Stalker and the Earthshaker, like they are catering to his strengths and they're all uniting behind it. So if Matoma Man needs to play Broodmother or play some Timbersaw or some non-traditional carry, he'll do it.
You know, Merlini, I want to shift the focus to LFY a little bit. Obviously, we just got the profile of Miracle. We just got the opportunity to talk about their strengths. The match is going to start really soon. What do you think is the big thing to look for LFY?
Not losing the draft, I would say, versus Liquid. Liquid have a lot more play styles that we've seen. We've seen Wisp, Shaker, Coddle, which is the obvious ones. And then we've seen Huskar and Broodmother, and then we've seen Darkster Slaughter. We've seen the anti-mage as well. So LFY, we've seen them more one-dimensional, I would say, in the drafting. And that one dimension has been working out really well for them, though.
Well, we just heard that the match has just now started. It is time for the first game of our first series. It's going to be LFY versus Team Liquid. Elimination is on the line.
LFY versus Team Liquid. Game 1.
All the shakers right here. Yep. This has really been the theme that we've been seeing again and again and again out of Team Liquid. It's a Wisp Coddle ban, which immediately gives them first pick Earthshaker. GH is 9-1 on Earthshaker.
They actually get the Coddle as well. The draft is going to go super. Whoa! These teams are so well prepared for this match.
Well, it looks like GH is not on Earthshaker.
They first banned Necrophos. That was actually an issue that we saw too. And Liquid picked it up in the first phase a lot. Allowed them to push Icon early, countered a lot of the heavy physical damage, Magnus, and other strats that we've seen coming out from some of the Chinese teams.
LFY making the conscious decision to not only give Team Liquid one of their favorite heroes, but to give them two of their favorite heroes.
I really like that because, as we've seen before, like the other teams have been trying to give them one of them, but now they're trying something new. They want to...
Yeah, they didn't just give them one and take the other. They said, no, you could have them both.
Yeah.
Let's see what you can do with this.
This might be a little bit better for them too, because now they actually know what hero Mind Control is going to play. Because they usually pick up their two supports very early on, and now Mind Control being on the Shaker very likely makes the safe lane decision a little bit easier for them. LGD Forever Young also run this combo that we haven't seen too much on the main stage, the Lich Doom, that Inflame has just been running at people, and some of the other players put it. Does it with Nature's Prophet and the Doom.
What makes the Lich Doom combo so potent?
Well, firstly, Doom's not particularly strong at the early levels, so he can actually pull the wave back, and Doom can also roam into the jungle and eat creeps and not really lose that much in the lane because Lich can sit there. Also, Doom has trouble with armor, and Lich helps that a lot. Aside from that, they just built Doom incredibly tanky and use him as a vision hero, much like other teams would use Nightstalker.
We've seen a little bit of Bristleback, but the games where Bristleback has failed, I feel like he hasn't had Lich on his team. I think when we see Lich and Bristle together with the addition of that ice armor, Bristle becomes a whole different kind of hero. Doom is kind of similar in that regard because he's so tanky. The effectiveness from Lich's ice armor is utilized so much more.
And Bristle is also something that Liquid has been playing together with the Call, but now, as Peter said before, they already have the Shaker, so... And Shaker most likely won't go mid, I guess. I mean, it can go mid, but it's not really the miracle hero, I would say.
Yeah, I think up against the Lich, I think Liquid should try and probably keep Miracle away from that lane, you know, wherever it might be. So having some flexibility in terms of laning phase would be good. The puck could easily go to any lane, though.
LFY's turn to pick.
LFY is really targeting like these heroes that Liquid has been playing around with Necrophos and now Huskar as well. And
I think it's the right approach. Really just getting team specific. You know, this is, you know, we're worried about you know, picking these heroes with your 4th and 5th picks and just eliminating them and not having that kind of like scare factor.
I guess Lycan is the only hero left that Liquid has really been playing a lot that isn't banned. Other than that, then they have been playing the Necrophos a lot on Matumba Man.
Yeah, I like that Necrophos ban. We've seen Liquid play that a bunch of times, and they're winning games for like 20 minutes. Just so much sustain, so much. That hero is so strong in lane.
LFY also has the advantage of having so much information about Team Liquid drafts. They've seen them in so many different ways.
There we go. We have Afu picking up the Earth Spirit.
One of the most notable plays of the tournament coming out from him with that Aegis steal. It's pretty epic.
Who did the rock and the
Kaka?
Yeah, that was awesome too.
2 Earth Spirit plays.
It's a very high finesse hero, right? Mm-hmm. If you're really good at it, it'll show.
High skill cap.
And if you're really bad, it also shows, right?
10 seconds remaining.
It's not my hero.
I've seen that before.
It's not my hero.
Kuroko's also getting one of his signature heroes here, the Rubik. He hasn't played that much this tournament, right?
No, not very much at all. And then that'll be, I think, I've seen him play at least once, though. And he played great.
He used to be one of the best Rubik players as well in the past.
He might still be, but he was regarded as like the best Rubik player for quite a while.
Yeah.
Team Liquid.
But that's some nice instantaneous disable up against Puck. Makes him a little less elusive.
These two cores with Puck and Nikes is super good against both Call and Rubik. They can jump in and kill one of them straight away with Infest Bomb.
Yeah. GH on his Call, we always talk about the Aghanim Scepter, but he actually almost every single game goes for a 4-staff first with that Puck Dream Coil with the Nake's Bomb. Call can 4-staff away, but he's going to get stunned, and they'll be able to catch up to him.
I mean, the Puck Lifestealer combo we've seen before, not run with Puck mid and Lifestealer safe lane, but actually having that last pick be another huge farming hero like Alchemist. We've seen that.
Yeah, Lifestealer can act as almost like a semi-core. He doesn't need to be this hero that takes everything. He works pretty well in dual carry pairings.
I think he's one of the one position's carry of choice versus keeper. You don't have to worry about the mana leak or the blinding light as a Lifestealer. It's very, very nice not to have to worry about that. Normally, you just have to get BKB or MKB. Usually both versus keeper going into the late game.
What are some carries from Liquid that you might like from or up against LGD? I thought maybe Matomi could play Terrorblade, but that's a little bit out of his norm this tournament.
Lycan, I would say, is because pairs up quite good against the Nikes.
Yeah. Yeah, Lycan would make a lot of sense here.
Troll's also pretty good.
Troll as well. Yeah, Miracle could still play Troll.
BKB hero seems very good versus our first three.
Yeah, definitely. Until Puck gets Ags.
Yeah. So I wonder if Super's going to be playing the Puck. Do you think it's going to be Super Puck or Inflame Puck? Because right now they don't really have great tower hitters.
They have last picks, so I think that they're going to leave that as an option.
It feels like that it's best to have it on the offlane when it's with Nike, because if you have it mid, like you really want to get this dagger and then go with the Nikes to get a kill. But if both your mid lane and your safe lane is like out ganking somewhere, it's quite obvious.
Bloodseeker, been a very popular pick just late in the tournament. Newbie showing great success with it up in winners, knocking LFY down with it.
He's a pretty solid hero against Lifestealer. I feel like it's not that bad for Lifestealer. Nah. Because he can just kind of sit there and man fight, and even if he's running around hitting people, he's still lifestealing.
Infest as well to try to dodge the rupture.
I think you'll almost always get the jump on the Bloodseeker rather than the other way around, though. I think with the Lifestealer, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, he's gonna stay hidden.
But yeah, Liquid getting a little bit pushed out of what they have been mostly comfortable playing.
Yeah, most of the times when they've been playing this Coddle, they have this push lineup with Necrophos or Lycan, so they just wait for GH to get his Args and then they just push during the day. But here is a more like team fight oriented lineup with a Bloodseeker.
Fury on the final ban, getting rid of mind controls, or I guess.
It's pretty interesting that they think it's going to be a mid shaker.
Yeah, yeah. Well, regardless, Furion is one of Liquid's best heroes. It would pair decently well with the Bloodseeker in terms of like what carries you need to win the game. Lots of building damage, some split push, some catch. All good things.
Team Liquid taking their time with their final pick.
Yeah, they've got a ban here, and then they have to pick immediately. And they've got to think, what's another hero we want up against Lifestealer, or do we already have enough with the Bloodseeker? They could still go for
Team Liquid's turn to LFYs.
All right, Lone Druid.
He's a hero that's been banned against Team Liquid very high percentage of the time. Wisp, Coddle, Lone Druid, I think are the most frequent against them, and a Sniper.
Choose your hero.
So it looks like it will be Sniper mid and Puck probably in off lane.
Team Liquid is actually lacking quite a bit of gap close for that Sniper. They don't really have anybody that's going to be able to get on top of him.
They have a Sniper them like Selves with a Lone Druid, right?
Oh, that's true, but he sometimes plays Radiance. Fair.
Yeah. I've seen him do the like range build a couple of times as well.
It's time to get game one underway. It is the first of the games of the final day of TI7.
Welcome to the floor of Key Arena. We are here in Seattle. 24, nearly $25 million $1,000 prize money available at this TI, and 18 million almost of them to be claimed today. But Lumi, this is the day when legends are born and stories are written or end prematurely. Liquid facing LFY, Newbie waiting as the final bosses in the grand finals. This crowd is already very into it.
We got one of the most amazing crowd here out of all Dota lands. I speak for everyone that we just want to see good Dota, but that's boring.
We don't want to see good Dota. We want to see beautiful Dota.
Perfect Dota is what we're looking for today. But before we get into that, let's get some cheer for LFY. Let's hear it, guys.
And of course, it is an aquatic themed TI, so I think we'd be remiss if we didn't see how many Liquid fans are in the house.
Team Liquid getting that home crowd advantage. Maybe a little bit, but...
Maybe a little, but only a little, and what they maybe lack in numbers here at the venue, they certainly make up for with the volume department, as the LFY fans are very anxious to see their team advance. So we get into the Dota now, Lumi. We can talk a bit about these picks. Mr. Ho Ho Ha Ha coming through again. We saw him yesterday.
Already getting a little triggered, and it is some interesting laning here coming out from Team Liquid. We see Matumba Man posting up on the mid lane. His matchup is going to be super for now on the sniper, although it looks like there might be a little bit of scouting and perhaps lane switching. And of course, we also have LFY going offensive up on the top lane. This lane, though, Team Liquid has already scouted out with a observer ward by the Secret Shop. So I think Team Liquid is happy with how the lanes are going. As I say that, though, it seems like there is some lane rotation going up the other way as well. What do you think is kind of the best lane matchup? I feel like they want to actually have the Puck versus the Earthshaker matchup, and it looks like Team Liquid is going to get that.
For me, I look at LFY, and it's maybe less about the matchups. It's more so about the rotations. Will Afu find those early openings to set them up for success? He has been hugely impactful on the Earth Spirit, and probably the same thing for Liquid here, with the Rubik potentially being able to rotate around, set up some early kills with potentially a Fissure to follow that up. But for now, at least, it is going to be the Lone Druid versus Sniper showdown, and this has been a hallmark of Team Liquid and their versatility coming into play, where Matumba Man can sit in that middle lane as a Broodmother, a Lone Druid. They are not fixated on having him in like a traditional safe lane every game, one position type of role.
Yeah, the big difference is that I think this Lone Druid is very gankable in the mid lane, especially to a hero like Earth Spirit. Sure, you might not kill him in the first gank, but definitely a lot of harass that's going to be coming through. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map, Inflame is just having a really tough time. Just eats fissures, eats a ton of right click. I think GH got like 6 to 7 right clicks on that puck. Has a phase available, but...
Simultaneously, Miracle also struggling, but the beauty of the Bloodseeker is you just get a few last hits and you'll be right back in it. As Afu looks to equalize the score, gives Mind Control some early harass, but he also takes punishment from Gandalf. Yeah, GH getting a lot of early harass in.
This is actually going to be a big problem. As soon as Bloodseeker turns level 2 up on the top lane, he is going to have access into Thirst. And suddenly, I think LFY top lane might crumble a little bit thanks to the big boost of movement speed as well.
They are getting aggressive here. Miracle going in on DDC. Liquid looking for the first blood. The Frost Armor is going to save him, it looks like, but at the same time, Monet unable to punish fully here. Frost Armor certainly will be quite the nuisance for the Lone Druid, for the Bloodseeker, as this game moves along. So a duel here top. Seems like Monet is getting that edge and harass, but just one quick change of auto attacks, Miracle will be right back in it.
Miracle seems to be struggling in terms of the last hit department right now. Of course, the Lich is a big part of that, and every time he does come in for that last hit, just eats at least 2 to 3 right clicks from the Lich as well as the Lifestealer. So they're doing a good job to slow him down.
Our first runes of the game spawning, just an illusion top for now. Super still holding mid, and so far this mid lane looking relatively even. So while we have a moment here, Lumi, let's talk about the Sniper pick. Why Sniper, do you think, for LFY, and how good is he going to be in this game? It's not a hero we see all that frequently.
Well, there's not a really good way for Team Liquid to gap close. I mean, you have Blink Shaker, maybe the Rubik could get close with a lift, but apart from that, if Sniper's position is good enough, he's just going to sit in the back line and just snipe people non-stop every day. So it's a great Sniper pick. I think Rupture could get close, but Miracle needs to really come in from some awkward angle to actually catch the Sniper.
Yeah, maybe we'll see a Shadow Blade here at some point on the Earthshaker. Those mobility items normally are common. It's Inflame. Bit of a juke here on GH. Gonna try to pressure him on the back of this. He's gonna have an orb pulling out soon. This could be the first blood. The fissure comes through. Well, it might be the first blood the other way. Inflame's gotta get the hell out of there. Nice dodge with the phase shift. Now Mind Control still pursuing him through the trees. Looking for the Enchant Totem connection. Not gonna find it. Dangerous moments as that Earth Spirit could be rolling in any second. He's actually gonna roll away. That will send the Keeper packing back to the base, at least for now.
You know, something I touched on earlier is it's about the rotation, but so far we haven't seen too much of it. It's a true 1v1 in the mid lane, which is quite rare in the current metagame. And I gotta say, Super is definitely holding his own. Normally, the Lone Druid gets a lot stronger at level 5 because your bear gets to now root people, but I think Sniper is one of the better heroes against that because you just get to stay so far back. Whenever the bear comes even close, you get to harass. In fact, the bear has to make the walk of shame into the fountain to regen, so this is looking pretty good.
Quick fountain trip for him. So far, so good for the Sniper. Of course, with the Lich, if there's no kills, you should be passively winning your lane. That said, the Lifestealer's slightly down on CS, so pretty early days here, but relatively even start thus far. No major advantage being accrued by either team. Does feel like it's going to come down to some of these rotations. Where does that first Rupture go? Are they able to find a puck pick-off with the Dream Coil? Maybe the supports, the dual ES initiator type heroes can get involved. We'll see. But
I mean,
everyone pretty content to stay in their lanes. Inflame is going to have to silence Mind Control. They get fissured up a bit. An off-lane Shaker, though, still looking to apply the pressure. Phase shift comes through, but he still gets clipped by the light. Not quite enough damage just yet, but the pressure is there, and this puck is constantly running low on regen. Same time, he is CSing well, so he's able to afford some additional when necessary.
You know, you say passive game is good for the Lich, but at the same time, as an Earth Spirit team, you definitely want to be able to convert some of your early rotation to kills. And this particular top board that Team Liquid has placed is making it tough for Afu
It's not going to see this Earth Spirit coming in, though. He's creeping around in the woods. Can he find the opening? Bloodseeker is a possible kill, but not easy. He already has a pretty decent move speed as of now, so
if you could
still
catch
kind of
him,
hesitant.
If you can catch him with Blood Rage on as he comes in for the last hit, as he has now, maybe.
They don't have a whole lot of disable, though, so they've got to time this just right. And Miracle dueling it out with Monet. They're going to try and save that Boulder Smash, rolling forward. And now Miracle getting stunned up. He's a little bit too fast, though, because in the bottom lane, they're diving the puck. The puck may end up going down in flame. While they don't get the kill, they also save this top lane through the power of the Thirst, the Fissure. Nearly bringing Inflame down.
Yeah, it was a very lucky break for Miracle. As they started going on the puck, the HP of puck lowers and lowers, activating that Thirst, giving that movement speed that he needed to get out of the gank. Very, very slow early game, despite the fact that both teams are aggressively looking for that first blood.
We've seen some of those early rotations, not yet netting kills. Now Matumba Man getting aggressive on Super. The power of the entangling claws can leave the Sniper vulnerable, especially if a rotation comes in. They'll need to keep vision up for Super. He'll have to be very, very careful about his positioning, because look who's coming from behind.
It's only
GH creeps.
Level 1. Oh, he's going to assassinate the bear.
Oh, he wants that kill. Super does
goal.
get it. That's an easy 300, but maybe the punish can come now. Liquid will trade this for first blood to roll in from Apu. Two-hero connection. First blood to LFY. Bear's down. Now the hero's down. And Kuro might drop as well. Super wants to back away. Ho-ho. Haha.
He's fine.
He's out of there.
Yeah, first blood. They got the bear.
Even forced the mind control TP. That is the ultimate coup here for LFY. On top of that, Afu snags the bounty. Talk about a good start, Lumi.
Oh, for sure. Just look at the net worth differential. Sniper is about 1,000 net worth ahead of the Lone Druid off the bear kill, off the double kill, and the first blood. He's having a beautiful game.
Nearly 1,000 gold up on the Lone Druid, where it was dead even before that. That is a massive exchange. See how Liquid are able to respond now. Does have to resummon. Tumble Man wants a little bit of vengeance here, but Super just calmly plinking away on El Doge. Keeps on punishing it under tower.
And just now we saw the weakness of Team Liquid's draft, where you got the Keeper, you got the Rubik. Neither of those are really good rotation heroes, you know? They come in very slowly, they don't have a lot of burst damage or disable.
You'd love to see the Bloodseeker come, but Miracle's actually only level 4.
That's the Lich for you.
Because of the Lich, even though he's CS relatively fine, so no Rupture available. The only other hero that can rotate is the Shaker, and that's a big investment, bringing your offlaner away and just freeing up that bottom lane for the puck. So LFY it seems like kind of hinging on the sniper and the early movements of Afu have been able to gain an early advantage here. But as mentioned, it is early. Only 7 minutes in. We still haven't seen Liquid ramp up. So many times, Lumi, they've even been very far behind, and then all of a sudden, GH gets that Aghanim Scepter and things completely change. So definitely don't write Liquid off by any means.
I think even as he's working towards Ags, with the draft that LFY has, they can actually apply a ton of pressure. But look at this power jungling that's coming out from GH in the jungle. Stacks multiple camps, one Illuminate hits both. I mean, that force stab is coming really soon.
This guy's a tunnel god.
Yeah, that's how you do it, boys.
Already level 4. He's basically there with Miracle, which is probably not what Liquid wanted, but they'll be happy that GH has his good start nonetheless.
He is missing some of the experience that he's gaining from the left camp, but you know, for Kato, he's worried about gold. Okay, here comes Afu.
Afu's great. I'll have some of these. Leeching it up. Might even be able to steal more. And in comes the rotation. They don't want Afu to get this for free. Lone Druid flanking him from behind. Up the ramp comes Eldoge, rolling away to the right, and a TP out. No chance of stopping Afu. The Shaker currently at the tier 1, too far to rotate. Could be an ongoing issue for Liquid until these until the Shaker and the Rubik get some items. They don't have that many ways to cancel these TPs.
Yeah.
Maybe a lucky route, but the bear has to get there.
LD, would you say this is one of the most successful Lich game we've seen? We haven't seen him give away early kills.
He just got to Sentinel lane, deny creeps, and didn't die.
It's like a very slow...
That's successful as far as what you want to do as a Lich.
Yeah, and look at Miracle's level, right? As we see the bear just having a ton of issues on the mid lane.
It's almost in that assassinate kill range.
Look at the level differential. You have a level 5 Bloodseeker to a level 9 sniper in the mid lane that's just plinking away.
And that's just a hard matchup in general, right? Like, as Bloodseeker, you have to run in. You know, you don't normally see the hero build like anything that lets you jump, and even if you do, the sniper's probably going to win the man fight with this kind of an advantage. So Miracle's going to have his work cut out for him as LFY look to set up. Afu lurking on the high ground. DDC has the chain frost. They can go for this. Boulder smash off the mark. They still lob it in. Will it bounce back? It does. They need a little more damage, though. He also whiffed there on the roll forward, and Miracle scoots away. Easy dodge for him. Still the pressure, though, Lumi. Despite the failed kill, they could force him back for a little bit, and they could pressure this tower with the Lifestealer. But Liquid looks like they might want to try to contest this. They're thinking about it. They've given that bottom lane to GH. They have rotated mind control very early on the Shaker. Freeze up mid. Where Matumba Man starts to work on the tier 1. Bounty Rune spawning. LFY gonna TP Sniper back to mid. Mask of Madness already complete. Just so difficult to punish this Sniper with all the mobility he has now, but GH is gonna try, just blasting him from the side. He shrugs it off.
Yeah, he's got the regen from the Mask of Madness as well, so he's not too worried about that. I really love this build. The mobility is going to help out against a team that can't immediately jump on you.
Afu, nice silence there. They were thinking about an Echo Slam commitment. It won't be possible. All the while, Monet quietly farming on the top lane. And so things obviously going really well for LFY Lumi. The puck catching up nicely. They have the threat of the infest bombs later on this game.
Oh, that thought out the level 6 Bloodseeker. Guess where he's going on the mid lane? Can he get close enough for that rupture?
Super has already spent his gold, so it'll be as minimal as possible damage-wise, but in the bottom lane, in flame, looking to bring GH down. The orb comes through, beautiful connection. Scores the kill, but they might get the trade. They need to kill this sniper off. Rupture, lift, into the claws, stands his ground. He will fall. Super down for the count, and no ability to punish with that puck coil committed.
In flame ports back in.
Even getting rooted here.
It's fine.
Well, John Wayne, meanwhile, top. Dive in from Afu. They see the opening. Shaker has the Echo ready, but LFY bringing in the Lifestealer. Boulder smash through. Could go for the rage play. Will they have the damage to bring him down? There is a Chain Frost. Might just want to lob it in. No, the silence time just right. LFY leave no stone unturned as they take down the Shaker.
EDC will pour it out from that Blood Rage. Yep, he's out. A Blood Right, rather. And everyone gets out clean.
Back and forth exchanges around the map. They do kill the Sniper, but again, he had already spent his gold. He's still over 1,000 up on the Lone Druid.
In fact, look at the net worth. All 3 of LFY.
They're moving on to Miracle here. Open wounds to start. Rolling Boulder forward, and now Afu commitment with the kick. Scores the Miracle kill. Oh,
one more hit. They will get it.
Gets him again. This is not the kind of Bloodseeker game that we've seen on the road to the finals.
Not over yet. Mid lane, Puck has an Invis Room. He scouts out Matumba Man. Coil is available.
This is not a solo kill.
Yeah, he needs a sniper to be nearby, but sniper, it's like, I'm going to sit in the mid lane.
If Matumba Man comes back to mid, perhaps they do go for that, but instead there's a dire scan bottom. They're going to rotate that way. They maybe dodge the skank and get a tower. Still, as good as the game's been for LFY early, they've yet to take a tower down.
There's a lot of teleport scrolls on the side of LFY. They could just coil and port in. There is the one.
Do they want to, though? It's already too late. Tower's down, but maybe they can at least
Sniper's
get the
here.
kill. Matumba Man caught out. Could be another death for the Bear. Tries for the TP. Not going to happen. Matumba falls once more, and still LFY grabbing their own tower in the top lane. So they do answer back. A 1-for-1 tower trade, but the kills, those precious kills, are all going LFY's way.
This is a fairly common sight for Team Liquid. Whenever they run the Kato, they do struggle in the laning stage. They do tend to fall a little bit behind in terms of kills, towers, and net worth. But as soon as that Axe comes online, you know, the team just roars back.
Yeah, he does love to go for the Force Staff first and then into the Axe. Just get that utility item to help your team. As they converge on the bottom lane here, they're trying to set up. Looking for the Shaker pickoff in Flame with the Rolling Boulder. Beautiful connection, but the interruption might come through. First, committing the Earthshake
Assassinate.
ultimate. Assassinate finishes the job. A little bit of extra damage. All they need. Apu will fall. Sniper has to back away as he watches the Fairy Dragon get shredded. And while that was all happening a bit earlier in the mid lane, GH did deny the tower. So that was another tower down for LFY, but the gold will be diminished.
Yeah, that was a critical death here on the Puck. He's so close to the Blink Dagger, sitting at 1500 after the death. Had he actually made it out from that gank, that would have been really good for LFY. Instead, 2-for-1 trade, good recovery here from Team Liquid. But the question is, what are they doing for this sniper? Like, he is just free farming. Nobody's actually successful at ganking him, apart from that one gank on the mid lane. I don't think that's enough here to slow down Super.
Is there a point for you this game, Lumi, where Sniper kind of enters God mode? You know, where he's just so strong that no one can get in range of him? Like, we have seen those Sniper games, especially back in the old ho-ho-ha-ha days, where he just would sit back with a Mascabatus, BKB, a couple of key items, and someone walks towards him to initiate, he just kills them before they even get in range.
I think it will be super hard for him to get to that point. Hold that thought, Afu finds GH, good force that, but he's up on a cliff. Do they actually know that? They dropped the one.
Yes,
Chain
sir,
Frost
they
is there.
certainly do. The blinding light is there, pushing them away, and Monet tries to claw at him somehow. Those paws reaching up the cliff, the invest from distance. Monet, that was a beautiful piece of art. Gets the kill. Can they push now? They want to group up mid, and with the Keeper of the Light down, seems like they're thinking about it, but they also have to deal with this pressure coming bottom. It's been shoved in. And Liquid are responding with a double Midas here. The Lone Druid Midas, I believe, just been picked up. Now going towards the Radiance, has about 900 gold banked already towards it. And Miracle also closing in on his own recipe. So Liquid definitely hoping to slow this game down, but Mind Control, he could be the sacrificial lamb. The Shaker rumbles into this top lane. The ward was planted down. Mind Control, Fissure, but now he's got nothing left to save him. Rolling forward or off the mark, but they don't even need it. Kill secured. Tower will stay up, at least for now.
Yeah, critical kills on these Blink Dagger buyers. Shaker was at 1400, now down to 12. Meanwhile, Puck, just
very
about 100
close
gold.
to me.
Yeah.
Kuro will get the deny here. GH does have the Force Staff ready, but still the coil is available.
They got coil ready, yeah.
They can go for this. The coil can even hit too, but Kuro's there with
kick. Oh my God!
Abu, he shoots. Will he score? The blinding light comes through. Now the assassinate orb will connect, and down goes GH. The tower now in jeopardy as LFY looking for that next objective. The Frost Armor lets Super tank it up, already completing the Dragon Lance, so the range increases. We talked about the gap close problem for Liquid. It's only exacerbated with these item selections.
Yeah, I guess these silver linings that you have Rupture, so defensive force staffs on the sniper is not as useful, but still, that's assuming you get close enough.
They're gonna fight. They're gonna fight. LFY moving in. Bear coming forward. And now Liquid continue to chase Arnie. One TP out. Savage Roar won't find him. Lich waltzing away, floating back to safety. And still Liquid are committing for this. I think they're not going to find anyone. Oh, maybe they get the Lich. Maybe they get the Lich.
Oh, they don't.
Even if they do, even if they do, what does it really matter?
Yeah. He is level 8, fairly high level hero for position 5. But I think the most impressive thing is that LFY is able to get so much towers without losing their own, right? You're playing against a Lone Druid. And despite of that, they have lost one tier 1 tower, and they're applying so much pressure across the map. I think this has definitely slowed down GH's Aghanim Scepter quite a bit. He's only closing in to the point booster. The team isn't really good at stealing Roche. They're not very good at taking towers, well, in a kind of straight up siege fight right now, so.
Is this the way Liquid wanted to execute their draft? Do you see them as a lineup that wants to sit back, go double Midas, just kind of farm and dodge fights?
No, I think they definitely expected a lot more out of the laning stage. The Midas on the Bloodseeker is a reaction to the fact that he's so under-leveled.
Converging on top. They're trying to catch out the Shaker. Mind Control's there with the Fissure, but in comes the Chain Frost. Out goes the Magnetize. Again, Afu on point with these kicks. Takes the Shaker down once more. Still no blink. We've seen blinks as early as like that 13, 14 minute mark if you go back to that XXS offlane Shaker game.
Most support positions, when they have a good game, they find it around 15, 16, but you know, this is a very tough game for him. And he's got, to me, a decent lane match.
Infest Bomb is hunting. GH is going to be caught. There's the coil to jump. And another kill. LFY continue to punish. You mentioned the importance of Blink Dagger, and it's just LFY able to constantly pounce here now.
And the thing is, LFY is able to do this without having any vision into the Radiant jungle, or Dire jungle, excuse me. Team Liquid is going to get spooked. He's like, how are they seeing us? Where are they constantly finding us? They might need to go into D-ward, but there are no wards to be dewarded. As this is happening, LFY continues to apply pressure.
They're converting these into tower kills. The tier 2s are now both down mid and top. It, in theory, opens the way for Roche. Though you do look at LFY and say how they're not a very fast Roche team, Lumi. No Midas armor here. They're tanky with the Frost armor, but it's something that Liquid could potentially respond to.
Yeah, Monet is also not working for a Desolator, which you sometimes see. I think objectively, they're just looking to kill people and apply pressure as opposed to, you know, taking buildings.
Not again, Miracle. Not again. Miracle trapped out once more. LFY, no mercy. Throws in a Wayward Rupture, but in Flame shrugs it off.
Does not care. Well, Team Liquid needs to resort to split push. And that's kind of what they're doing. They do have some very good vision in the enemy jungle. In fact, this one will scout out super. Do they have enough to get the skill? They need this skill.
He's out a bit far, but he slowly works his way back to the left. And Liquid are too scared to walk down that hill. You compare it to game 2 yesterday, Lumi, where that was the no-fly zone for their opponents, but they don't have that Broodmother infestation. They don't have the 11, 12K net worth advantage. And they don't really have the reliable initiation.
Yeah. The Blink Shaker is so important, and they just don't have it.
Finally has picked it up. Mind Control just got it now. So perhaps Liquid can start making some plays.
Yeah.
This could be the start of a comeback.
I love the vision over here. This is where they're going to live for the next couple of minutes. And if they get super once or twice, or maybe get the life there once or twice, they could be right back in this game. Because now your barrier is also big enough where you could convert these kills into very quick tower pushes. The Relic is, to me, flying in as well on the corridor.
Liquid mustering reinforcements. At the same time, like, they have invaded this LFY jungle, but it's almost as though they don't have an alternative choice. They smoke under a ward. Liquid could catch LFY napping here as they rotate. Bear out in front. LFY keep on going, still that smoke. And Liquid retreat. Do they want to spring a trap here? They're setting up with an Illuminate. Ward's getting planted as they look to breach high ground. They're lacking the Bloodseeker for this fight, and in goes the puck. The smoke's gonna break. Orb coming through. He finds Mind Control. They get off the silence. LFY, the gift that keeps on giving. Another pick for them.
This is really reminding me of that Mind Control.
Radiant Scan even found someone bottom.
Okay. Sniper,
He's hiding in the trees. DDC's hunting. Shrapnel coming through.
One more Shrapnel.
Scurrying the hell back towards
Everyone
safety.
is out.
TP, get the hell out, Liquid. The ward, meanwhile, does see that lone druid mid. And Afu is looking for a further pounce. LFY, they're the ones constantly going for these ganks, going for these initiations, and they find Matumba Man. Savage Roar's there.
Hug's coming in
Gets
here.
him back to safety. Now the Boulder Smash forced out. And now the TP's come. They do have the Shrine. This could be dangerous for LFY, and they know it. They're going to back away.
Even though these kind of moves are not really converting into kills for LFY, they are still applying a ton of pressure where GH doesn't get to stack camps, doesn't need to get to farm.
And they might just get this tower bottom. Like
they will get it.
If they get no kills out of that sequence of events, and they will, Monet grabbing the tier 1 in the bottom lane. That's 5 towers for LFY. Liquid have taken 1.
Yeah, they're also doing a very good job to make sure that no split push is happening. That's something that Team Liquid has been very good at. Yeah, sure, they fall behind a couple of thousand gold, but then, you know, GH is across the map, pressuring your towers. And now look at the next move, LFY
They're going to run
top.
into this puck up top. Starts with the silence.
Yeah, doesn't have enough by himself.
Wisely not picking that fight. Kuro instantly dewarded the lane ward mid, so LFY are playing quite a bit in the dark around this map. Only one ward, I believe, standing right now. A proud ward. Silence. Blink orb, and now the TPs are coming in. They might take this fight. Miracle, he's committed the silence already. 3 heroes coming in. The Vest Bomb revving up. See a TP to that bottom shrine. Liquid continue to play this game of footsie, of keep away. Trying to poke and prod at LFY, but not looking for actual head-on fights, at least not yet.
Yeah, I think a slow game also benefits LFY right now as the sniper gets completely out of control. I love the medallion lich pickup. You talked about how LFY does Roshan very slowly. Now they have the option to get a quick kill with the Lifestealer Bomb and then go right into the Roshan. Take even more objective.
They're moving down mid. Bloodseeker, if he farms this next wave, could be caught. The smoke is there. It's actually broken on the lich.
They want
They're
the
now
bear.
running forward, still committing for this. The bear's already out of there. Liquid continuing to dodge these ganks for the most part. GH closing in on the Ags. It could be a painful time to lose him. But he hugs the tower for now. The Force Staff won't save him if the coil comes ripping through, and now the orb. Does he commit? Yes, they do. They get the coil. Silence as well, pushing himself back and away, but the raging Lifestealer chews him up, spits him out, and now the tower might just fall. LFY could be taking the last outer tower, sub 25 minutes. We've seen Liquid play these long, drawn-out games, Lumi, and prevail, but often it's from a significant advantage. Now they may be doing it from a significant deficit. They'll try to trade here. They're going to rotate 3 to the top side, maybe try and push that tower down, but I don't even know if they get it. LFY have all 5 alive, and they could commit to a defense, so perhaps LFY has their cake and eats it too.
Yeah, the puck is probably the most important person to TP back.
They are TPing, but not straight to the tower. They're lacking the coil for now. The bear munching rapidly, looking to bring this tier 1 down, and Liquid are in position. Rolling from the sides, they commit the glyph, and now the Infest Bomb forward, trying to bring down Matumba. On the side of this fight, there was an echo. Commitment for Super, they take him down. They couldn't kill the bear. They lacked the firepower. LFY, finally Liquid finding their opening, but can they deal with the Lifestealer? The kick comes through, slowing the bear down. On the backline, Kuro got picked off in the chase forward onto Miracle. Monet chewing into it, but needs a little lockdown as Afu tries to deal with Matumba Man. They're biting off more than they can chew. Finally, they will slay Miracle, and now they want Matumba Man. In comes In Flame, grabs him at the buzzer with the Yule. Another kill for LFY. A 2 for 3. But they hold the tower, Lumi.
2-5, 7K net worth lead. Checking on GH. Normally his timing to finish the Force and Ags is about 21, 22 minutes. We're closing on 26, and he's only halfway there to the Ags. We're going to see this fight one more time. They did pick off the sniper, which is pretty good at the first half of the fight, but they threw everything on the sniper. They committed the Echo Slam, they committed the Rupture, and without those spells, they just don't have enough to take the second half of the fight. There's no escape coming out from this essentially race car build from Monet, and they just chase him down.
I'm still not feeling the presence of the Bloodseekers in these fights. So often the Lifestealer just mans up on him, rages, and just doesn't care about that silence, and Bloodseeker is not really able to be a threat. Like, when we saw Newbie running the hero yesterday, pretty much all the recent Bloodseeker games, he's been hugely impactful.
I mean, the difference is the fact that there is a Lich in this game. His level 6 was delayed till, like, I think a minute 11 or something. And even after he's got his level 6, the Rupture ganks, I think that was the second successful Rupture gank we've seen in about 26 minutes of gameplay.
And that was a pretty risky maneuver by LFY. TPing into the Shrine, they knew Liquid had to be going for that aggressive push as they forfeited the tower bottom. All 4 heroes were missing, so they kind of knew what they were walking into, and they still took the fight.
Yep. Well, we're closing in on a BKB on the sniper. once he's got that, I don't think he'll die in the engagement that he just died on. So
the way he died in that fight was he TP'd in like on the shrine with 3 Liquid heroes behind him. If they're going for a siege, it's tougher for Liquid to get that type of flank off.
You were asking me earlier, you know, what makes Super into a Superman status on the sniper. I think this BKB will kind of tie him over to that point. But more than anything, though, it's about vision and his positioning. So far, I think Team Liquid has done a very good job in terms of the vision game, but I expect as LFY begin to siege these tier 2s and high ground, that they're going to have sufficient vision to make sure that they don't get ganked and flanked.
As you mentioned, BKB complete. We can take a look at the items coming out now for both squads. DDC grabbed the gem, has the medallion, so Roche potential is ramping up. You can see Inflame well on his way to a Linked Sphere pickup. Great tool against the Bloodseeker especially. Monet, as mentioned, did grab the Deso, now an Assault Cuirass being queued up. So across the board, LFY getting their items, even the Blink on Afu, and perhaps the most important tool for them. They have another way to initiate with these Lifestealer bombs.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Normally, when you see a Puck on the map, you're like, okay, you know, we're safe to farm, because Puck is the most reliable way to initiate with a Lifestealer. And now, Afu, the way that he plays, he's constantly off the map. He's mostly hiding inside the trees. And as Team Liquid, you just gotta be afraid, you know, is it a Lifestealer and a
They jump in, they find Miracle on the high ground, and they munch him. LFY, easy pick for them.
That's a 60-second death timer on Bloodseeker. They could
He has the buyback. They are pushing out this bottom lane.
Just go Roche, right?
But as you mentioned, Roche, right there for the taking. We'll see a Mask of Madness picked up here by Matumba Man. Now he's doing this into a sniper, into a Lifestealer with the Desolator. Feels like a split push item, Lumi. Does not feel like an item that's going to let this bear fight.
Also, would not surprise me at all if the Matumba Man wants to keep on split pushing. He's going to go for the Aghanim Scepter. If he's looking to fight more head-on, you know, building items like an AC would help out there. We'll see where he thinks this game is going to go to, but I'm leaning with you, LD. I feel like this is going to be a split push game for Team Liquid to come back on.
Do you like them in that type of battle? Does their lineup, you have to keep her the light, right? You've got a hero that's really good in those spread out type of maps. Bloodseeker, in theory, excels when heroes are isolated, can be picked off. The Lone Druid with an axe could be a threat, but can they get there? That's the other big question. LFY are ramping up for an early high ground assault. The AC still being worked on. But aside from that, like, you've got one of the best high ground siegers in the game with Sniper.
Yeah.
And with the BKB, unlikely that they can gap close on him.
It also comes down to whether Liquid think they could actually still do their frontal push that they always love to do with the Aghanim Scepter finish on the Keeper of Light. If you do want to do that 5-man group up, obviously the AC on the bear is much more beneficial in that type of playstyle. It just comes down to whether they think they're going to be the pushing or whether they need a rat.
Definitely feels like they think they need to rat, at least for now. You see the bear off the bottom lane. One thing that's been crucial for limiting their ability to do that was the gem pickup on the Lich. Previously, Liquid had 3-4 wards on the southern side of the map. It actually allowed them to see that LFY smoke gang coming. Now they don't. So Matumba Man hides in the trees. He lets the Radiance Burn do the work bottom, but you don't really see the Bloodseeker actively farming the map. You don't see anyone from Liquid confident to show in a lane. Sure, they're hiding in the trees trying to get out, but they're not hitting creeps.
The other big thing is that we haven't seen any kind of solo Shaker pickoff, right? Throughout this entire tournament, you see GH, you see XSS. Whenever they just finish that Blink Dagger on Shaker, they're off the map and they're finding individual kills. We haven't seen that from Mind Control, partly due to the fact that the Blink Dagger was so delayed, but also the lack of vision. The Gem, again, doing a lot of work here in this game.
It sounds really bad for Liquid. At the same time, they're down 14 kills. They're only down 6,000 gold.
It's more that they're down, yeah, they're only down 6k gold, but they just can't go out to get more
They might find Mind Control. Hey, buddy. Inflame comes in. Monet pops out. Mind Control. Dodging, blinking away. Does make it out to safety. But you know, LFY, they see the way Liquid wants to play this. They're hunting in the tree lines. They're dewarding the map. They're constantly scouting for heroes off on their own. As Afu sets up mid, he's going to make the move on the Miracle here. Will there be a counter? LFY punishing Liquid in their home turf. The magnetized pretty Miracle low. Gets to the shrine, taps it, and stays alive.
Sniper could not get vision for the assassinate, and Miracle is out. Shrine getting him back up.
It does say a lot about how LFY, how confident they feel. They're diving heroes under the shadow of a tier 3 tower, unafraid that Liquid can respond. And they're doing it just with a squad of 2, maybe 3.
Let's see how the game changes, because we are approaching daytime, and I think that's where the Aghanim Scepter of GH will allow them to get a little bit of vision back.
They find Matamba lurking in the trees. Monet gets onto him. The bear blocks the path, but the coil
Savage
is
Roar,
the
perhaps?
answer. Savage Roar, not a matter.
Yeah.
LFY slaughter that bear again. He can kill creeps, but he cannot fight heroes.
We'll see if LFY decides to go on the high ground. They still have the Aegis on the Lifeslayer. He can be a great person to siege in the front line. Very resistant to the Team Liquid defense of things like Savage Roar, Blinding Light, Illuminate. And here it comes. But they are pushing Daytime into a Keeper of the Light with Ag, so...
They do get a stun here into a silence and an echo commitment. Out pops the Lifestealer, gets to work with a 4-step away. Good start for Liquid, they bring the puck down. Coil not available for this fight. Bloodseeker on the run though, being brought low. Monet finishes him off, but has he overextended. Gets lifted up, still keeps the siege going as Super goes for the assassinate. The smoke dodge by Burrow!
Nicely
Sick
done.
plays by him, still though, they're in trouble. Lumi, Chain Frost comes through. Mind Control on the run. Liquid pulling out all the stops, but might not have the answers anyway. Monet diving deeper, forces them on their heels. The roll, the commitment from LFY. They force the buybacks out, they will lose their Aegis. Perhaps in too far, a gem casually on the floor, but Tumble
Sniper
coming in
very
late.
low.
This is where the Radiance could be super impactful. No BKB, LFY, they've overplayed their hand, they're gonna lose the sniper.
They ping out the
Monet
gem, somebody pick up the
wants
gem.
to get away, somebody grab it,
Assassinate.
somebody grab it. Kuro going for the assassinate, but the blink dodge.
Very smart TP by Matumba Man. He sees his teammates being dived, he TPs in front of his building and go for it, but now might be a little bit of
He's
trouble
still
here.
going in. He's still diving deeper. The kick is there from Afu. The committing from Matumba Man. They kill him under his own tier 4.
Nothing.
LFY are not scared of Liquid.
Assassinate flying in, Afu doesn't care, he's tanky enough for that, and now they go back, they have the cake.
They're gonna TP into the shrine though.
Okay,
Look for the
Bloodseeker's
rupture.
back wing.
Blink into the trees. Miracle. Who's he gonna find? Monet TPs. He's gone too.
Everybody's gone.
Unbelievable. Fearless. LFY are styling on Liquid right now. Liquid pulling out all the stops with these individual plays, but it's just the raw punching power. They just can't seem to deal with Monet right now.
Very good initiations to start the fight, to try to blow up the puck, and they do, but critically, this team fight, look at the way that it's initiated. Puck jumps in, and then Afu jumps in, and all the meanwhile, the guy that's off camera right now is shooting at everybody. Sniper pops the BKB and just go in. We've been mentioning there is no answer for the Sniper until Matumba Man survives and come back, and then he TPs behind the tower. He then gets to do some stuff, but if the Sniper is in position, he will ruin the game for Team Liquid.
I mean, that was pretty much like the best possible execution Liquid could have dreamed for, right? They get a clean kill on the puck to start the fight with the combo. Not easy to do when he has a Liquid Sphere and a Yule Scepter. On top of that, you smoke dodge the assassinate. You almost manage to steal the gem. The Lone Druid comes in late when Lifestealer is retreating and actually is able to do damage with his bear. And even then, LFY are still diving you deep, forcing heroes to die, and even forcing out that Rubik buyback. So that's like the dream scenario. Liquid have to keep on playing this well.
Yes.
To avoid getting run over by the LFY machine.
This might be the smoke that will turn the tide of the battle. It is daytime. They got the GH vision. But look at LFY's positioning. They know that's what's coming.
This is like the reverse Night Stalker. You know, when it's nighttime you hide, it's when it's daytime you hide.
Yeah. I mean, LFY knows that the only way they will fall behind now,
Oh,
and
the double smoke.
Yeah, they are
Nobody
so
ever
desperate.
sees the double smoke
They are
coming.
so desperate to find something, but LFY just knows they're gonna sit here.
There's no Roche to take. There's nothing really to lose except the tower, but Liquid are not going to walk in for a headlock siege, and now LFY, now they leave their base. They're in Liquid's head, Lumi. That might not mean they win the fight, though. Liquid on the low ground, but they have the flying vision they could set up here. Look for the initiation. Who's going to get the jump? Afu has been the solution so often, but they actually head south. The climax, it fades away. We won't get that big fight yet.
Back to farming. It is nighttime, and ironically, it's the time that LFY wishes for. You gotta keep in mind that the Dire pop double smoke. They are still working with a vision disadvantage thanks to the gem. Supports are super poor on the side of Team Liquid. There is no answer to Sniper. This Lifestealer is already getting to be fairly big. And of course, on the other side, Miracle has still been struggling.
Sniper, if he wants to buy it, has an MKB.
MKB is going to be fairly important when it comes to playing against Blinding Light.
You've got a Halberd to worry about this game. You have the Blinding Light, as mentioned. You have that Radiance, so it's a pretty important pickup, as you mentioned.
Although, you know, more than
even
all
a
of these,
Solar Crest on the Bear.
More than any of these items, though, still it just comes down to position, right? Because
Vision and Initiation.
Yeah. If you just get ruptured as a sniper, then suddenly your game gets really hard.
They're hunting Kuro. Bullet dodged. They are going to pick up a gem. And one thing that was really a crucial part of that last fight, where we saw a ton of sick individual plays in the combat, was just the fact that LFY got away with the gem.
Yep.
So they held onto it for DDC. Liquid would have loved to be able to deward the map, maybe gain vision supremacy, but now Darkness falls again, and LFY start to move in. And you can really see this yin and yang of the mid game, where when it's daytime, LFY are going to play safe, especially if Roche is not up. And when it's nighttime, that's when they get aggressive. That's when they roam, looking for pickoffs.
Mind Control seeking these individual solo kills, just waiting for somebody to be farming these waves. And he might get it here. Puck rotating in, but he gives up his position here by the fissure. Simultaneously, the split push continues with Matumba Man. And he does have that point booster, so he definitely is going for the Aghanim Scepter build.
Ags Mask of Madness, and we have seen Liquid, if you go back to game 2 yesterday where they advanced to the lower bracket finals, they lost 4 heroes in the team fight and they took a lane of Rax, and basically that was the trump card that won them the game. So this is a team that knows how to win by dodging fights, by baiting you into fights and going for key objectives. LFY will constantly have to remain vigilant that they don't give up any freebies. But they have tier 2s, Lumi, at least mid and top. So options for Liquid to go for that split push, that bait of sorts, are fairly limited for now.
And I feel like every second that this game goes on, LFY is just getting a little bit more from the map. Roshan spawns, moves C quickly, LFY demolishes it. And now this is Aegis and Cheese. Cheese most likely going towards Super.
Maybe just grab the Aegis, Monet the Cheese. No, Monet will grab the Aegis.
Either way.
Cheese to Sniper. Extra lives for the cores, and LFY still all according to plan for them. They haven't managed to crack this Liquid defense fully. They constantly hunt through the tree lines, searching for the Shaker, for the Lone Druid. Even killing the Spirit Bear is a nice consolation prize for them, but you can see Mind Control just digging his way deeper, tunneling through these trees on the left side of the map. Always trying to stay invisible and just looking for openings. Even a kill on a Lich could open the way to potentially do a bit of split pushing.
I mean, at the same time, he also has no vision, right? So he's kind of sitting in the trees blind.
You don't want to send your base because then you're just doing nothing. But
he's kind of doing nothing in the tree.
But hey, if you're in the tree line, maybe that nothing turns into something.
Okay. I mean, the cup is half full, I suppose.
Still in flame, hunting, hunting, hunting. Not gonna find GH though. Meanwhile, Mind Control, he pops out top. Game of cat and mouse here.
And I do believe, again, Team Liquid dodges yet another very dangerous phase of the game. It is daytime soon, so maybe now they go for yet another smoking.
Smokes are a precious resource in a game like this, and that was why it was kind of important to note that Liquid blew 2 in that last venture. Normally you won't see that kind of commitment.
Yep. Also, I would say adding to that list, scans are very important as well. When you have so many people hiding in trees,
In the late game, you look a lot at buybacks and item pickups, Aegis and Roche as being crucial. I would say this part of the game, the smokes and the scans are probably a bit more important in most cases.
And maybe even the number of wards, in your shop.
And the gems to go along with that.
Any kind of way to get a positional advantage, vision advantage. And
they're
now
gonna move in. They try to jump air pull. They're gonna set up. He's got a BKB. They might be able to force it out. Boulder Smash, but the fissure interrupts. Mind Control timing it right, pushing Monet away. And they'll get that Bloodseeker back to safety. But you can see 2 of these lanes are shoving in, and LFY can siege very deeply tucked behind his team. Super can begin to chip from low to high. Monet, he thrashes this tower, rapidly brings down a quick snipe. Dagon is up on the puck. Didn't even have to use it there.
That wasn't...
Rubik has no buyback. This is a pretty big kill.
Yeah, very good snipe on the Rubik because he's just so Shrapnel. Shrapnel is fairly annoying against a pushing lineup.
So they get one. They're going to rev up for a follow-up Infest. They're going to TP away to bottom lane. Maybe they just go for this bear kill. Would be a juicy one. They pump the lifestealer out, kill up these creeps, rage onto the bear,
And this will limit the split push if they can finish it down. Eldoge with the Savage Roar.
Shakers on the chase.
Flames committed. Meanwhile, they are hunting for heroes. Super gets up to low ground, or up to high ground and away to safety.
Yep.
Again, that is what Liquid want to do. They want to pull LFY apart, spread them out, and then find openings. The gaps in the armor.
There are no gaps in the armor right now. You got Frost armor.
It fills everything in. You'd think Liquid would be masters of it, given their name and all. So far, it's not proven to be the case here.
Also, we're getting to a point where, as we see, Team Liquid has to worry about the bear's survivability. There's way more than enough damage to kill the bear over and over again. So this split push game plan is very safe. At the same time, the bear is 300 a pop whenever it dies. On a very long cooldown as well.
You kind of look at it like we're going to feed the bear. It's about limiting how many times it dies and trying to push as much as possible.
Right, and how much time you could delay with the bears.
It's a min-max problem, but you accept there will be some deaths.
Yep. High ground temp, number 2, this time with the double damage.
They try to hold the line here. The bear is off split pushing. The tower drops rapidly.
Ping him out.
Moving in on America with the BKB. The Echo commitment with the sniper. BKB, counterplay now. We still get the cheese. The courier dies, but more importantly, Matumba Man might fall. Pushed away. Chewing forward. Monet gets Savage Road back, but Afu, he's committed to this. Blinks in.
Assassinates.
Looks for the kill. Get it too. Back for the melee. No, they want more. They bring down a few. Liquid scrambling the buyback. Sounding the alarm. The base is under siege, but in the top lane, the bear is split pushing. It's going to take the melee. Liquid will get a Rex of their own. Can they hold the line? Melee is still up for Liquid. This might actually be a win for them. Elboy need more kills. They need to get back soon. They got to commit to something, Lumi. Monet's going to take a melee in his own right, even through the backdoor protection. So 1-for-1. But the bear Drakes creeps bottom. And Liquid got a whole lane.
How are they doing all of this? Finally, the TP comes out. The bear can quickly retreat.
Got another tower.
Yeah, it's going to get a tier 3. And now
TPs, they're going to stun up the pump. He won't get back. Doesn't have it. Now the tower down. The Savage Roar and retreat. Liquid again and again. The rat tactics are working. They might get more.
They're going to get the sniper. They are going to get the sniper. Puck is on the retreat. He's very low in terms of mana. Kuroki trying to lock him down.
Into the trees.
Do they know?
Catch him. No
they need vision. No
they got to do it blind. They assume he made it to the low ground, and Monet is lurching forward under a dire ward. Shrines are now opened up. How does Liquid keep on pulling it off? They're down 21 kills. They're down 11,000 gold. They can't fight head on, but somehow the base trade was successful.
Wow. Split push from Matumba Man. We said that might be the way to do it, but we didn't really think that he was going to do it.
TPs are essential for LFY. Boots of travel, definitely something that we're going to want to put in the quick buy. You can already see the sniper Super recognizes it. He needs that extra bit of mobility. They can easily get outmaneuvered here by Liquid.
Yeah, especially when you're trying to TP during daytime, right? GH is going to provide the vision. You got the Shaker with a long range disable, so, on this big stage, we've seen some big TP cancels, taking me back to TI3, but stuff like this could happen in this game as well.
Mind Control did manage to complete a couple of extra items here. Let's go with that Blake, the Force Staff, the Shadow Blade. Crucial for giving you the mobility to catch those fleeing heroes who just want to go home and defend the base. LFY are going to head out on a journey, an expedition for a kill. Buybacks become very important in these base race scenarios where Inflame is hunting. He's going to scout out Matumba Man. They're going to try to jump him, but the Lifestealer popped out too early. Monet premature from him. And now they'll have to settle for something else, the Rubik. Meanwhile, the bear is already moving in top. They might try to go for the split push, but it won't be quick enough. LFY can back a hero or two if they want. In fact, the ping is already there. Super knows somebody has to stay home. Somebody has to keep the fires burning.
Normally in a situation like this, you get a kill, you go for an objective, but LFY, they're so pressure on the side lanes that they get a kill and they have to go back and defend. So these kills aren't really that big of a deal here for Team Liquid. Big waves pushing in top and bottom. And now, you've been mentioning the whole game, LD. Now the map gets stretched open. That's where heroes like Bloodseeker gets much stronger.
They're looking for Mind Control. Abu, is he going to find him? Walks right into him. Two ESs crossing in the night. Who's going to get the kill first? Boulder Smash coming through. Follow-up is there from DDC.
Shadow Blade.
With the Shadow Blade.
He's out.
Homies. He gets out of there. Gem can't be everywhere. Inflame can't be everywhere. But Liquid, maybe everywhere. They can.
Yeah, they are everywhere. You got dudes in the tree, you got the global recall happening in, and this is all during nighttime. Daytime, I think we're going to see Team Liquid come in alive again. And most importantly, Miracle nearing that level 25. How often have we seen that cooldown on the Blood Rite being so damn annoying against pushing lineups?
This game could end in one fight. We are 47 minutes in. Both teams have claimed a melee. Tier 3 exposed additionally for Liquid bottom. So we could see a rush towards the throne. We could see Megas instantly grabbed by both teams. LFY do have the boots of travel. BOT level 2 could well be the next selection for them. And then all of a sudden you've got 3, maybe 4 heroes that can instantly arrive at the Liquid base, win in a split push ward perhaps.
Yeah.
But it's always dangerous base racing the Spirit Bear.
This is where, you know, having buybacks is super crucial. Super maintaining his. Inflame also has his. So in terms of LFY's defense, even if they lose a hero or two, they should be able to defend their base. And I think Sniper is nearing the God mode territory, but still.
Frost Armor could also be MVP. DDC, maybe not the sexiest hero, the Lich. Not necessarily the one you take home at night, but Frost Armor can get the job done, Lumi.
Team Liquid smoking at nighttime. This might catch LFY off guard. They've been playing very cavalier during nighttime, thinking that the smoke ganks won't be coming, but Sniper shows his face on the mid lane. They get Sniper
BKB,
here, that would be huge.
But if they can combo him, they can kill him. They've
Link
got Blitz,
Shaker,
they've got
man.
Force. If he comes too far down the river, he could be punished. DDC nearby, they might even get more than one. Liquid moving in, they're gonna scout Super right as he gets up the BKB. Mind control one for the Lich, and now he's gonna try to walk into this. Miracle retreating out. The BKB's not doing all that much. The Bear's still smacking him. Super's being controlled for now. He gets pushed away, he dies! He bleeds out to the Rupture. Now Liquid want to retreat. Miracle's BKB expiring soon. Can he win the man fight? They control the Shaker. They control the Shaker.
They do get the Shaker as well.
Now they fight onwards. Magnetize coming through, ripping through the Liquid backlines. Massive damage by Alfu, rolling it again. But round two is mind controls. Swings that totem, brings down more. Top lane is nearly at the base. The dust comes in. Mind controls brought down. Buybacks everywhere. Now Kuro on the run. 3 are dead for Liquid, 4 are dead for Liquid. No buybacks left.
The Bear is dead. Is the Spirit Bear still alive? No, he's off the map. I don't see him anywhere. And now Sniper gets to walk all the way down to the mid lane. Can GH defend against the world? We are seeing Illuminates being lined up left and right. He's got the vision to survive. But these big creeps, they're going to survive these Illuminates, and they're going to charge in. All Sniper needs is just a second in the base.
On the tier 4s.
Illuminates
or
cutting
maybe
waves.
the Megas. Which way do LFI want to play it? Well, they want to play
find
it. GH, he had to be a goddamn hero. He'll try. Down to the low ground. Sniper's still chasing him off, but with the commitment again, somebody to illuminate, but cutting him off at the
Assassinate
is the pump. And now it's on to Structures. They're going to have a solid 30, 40 seconds before any key heroes respawn. It's just Kuro on the lowly Grand Magus. Impoverished as all hell. LFY, they dealt with the split push, and now they look for the tier 3 bottom. They look for the lane of Rax. The rage is being brought down. The melee also slowly falling. LFY, they want the world. They've gotten 1 lane. They're gonna get 2. They might not end the game. They're not trying to go for the throne here. But they get that much closer, Lumi. They get that much closer. During that time, Liquid never got to execute a split push play. They never got to go for the rat tactics. They fought LFY head on. And now coming into the next fight, LFY 2, maybe 3 buybacks up.
We're going to watch
Liquid,
this team fight one more time. You said the BKB on the Sniper, and he really didn't do that much. He got ruptured, but he does have BKB and the buyback and the BOT to get into the fight.
And they still have the ability to get back in this fight quickly because of the BOTs, like you mentioned. Shrines are down right now, so that mobility is essential.
Also, critically, Matumba Man committed his barrier into this fight so that when he does die and the bear does die, there is no split push. Sniper comes back in on the second half of the fight. Really tough fight here for Team Liquid. They did as much as they can, but the buyback from Super is what sealed the deal.
It almost was a clean initiation on the Sniper. The Lich walked down the ramp like a half second earlier. It looked like they were going to catch Super to start the fight, and then it would have been very different. But now, round 2 of that crazy Roshan dance about to begin as Inflame starts it, moves on, kills off the Keeper, no buyback available. GH is out, Kuro's in danger now, the Fissure coming through from Mind Control. LFY looking for the reset, but they've gotten more. Kuro will fall, and now Miracle on the run.
They ping him out.
No split push, no rat, just a TP away. Miracle will make it home.
But now Roche is going to go to...
BOT's Lumi. BOT's coming out.
Okay.
It might be all in for Liquid. Go for the trade. Go maybe straight for the throne or the Megas. They're going to be down lives here.
I think it's so tough. If you don't kill the sniper, he will be able to defend so easily with shrapnel as well as, you know, just natural range. And he's going to get the Aegis off of this. Super had to buy back in the last fight. His team should give him the Aegis. He does. Also, I want to mention this is one of the few cases in a puck game that you see him get 25 and he doesn't get the plus 420 GPM. We're going to see the illusory orb distance as well as speed. I mean, this game is all about the fights. It's all about catching.
And mobility.
Yeah.
Just getting back to that base a split second quicker, catching a hero, and hell, catching a bear. They'll trap him in the night, and they'll look to bring him down. Monet chewing through El Doge, tasering the poor guy down.
We've seen Team Liquid struggle back from bigger deficits, but this one is...
They might find another. Mind control, creeping around.
He's got
the night is dark. The night is full
of terror.
Of Chain Frost.
All right, he's out.
But
He's got force
control
stab.
will dodge.
He's got blink. He's got the gem, so he should be okay. And now, systematically...
Look at this. The anti-Tinker wards have been out for LFY. They might just keep that going, Lumi, as the game grows later.
Yeah. It's been out for a while now.
Yeah. And that's really how they should be looking to play it. Constantly try to find heroes. Hell, the bear hiding in the trees. 40-12, and Liquid are still somehow not out of it yet, but they might be on their last breath now. Coming in for the siege is LFY. The lanes are pushed fairly well in all three sides, but the bear is doing the work bottom, and that is the exposed lane.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
LFY might need to send someone home soon. The BOT's on cooldown for the puck.
This is gonna be a very slow
push. The sniper has it, but doesn't want to use it.
You got Illuminate as well as Blood Rights.
The bear's coming in quickly.
Yeah.
They're pinging it out. They know it's gonna be here, and they've actually walked the puck home. He get BOT back. They want to gank that bear, get the Megas, and not give anything up.
And if this bear dies, they won't have a bear for at least 30 seconds.
Could be enough time to just end the game.
They recall back the bear.
They bring the bear home, but that also buys them time. They could try to wait out this Aegis.
I mean, look at Super. He's just struggling to push. He eats Illuminates. He eats the Blood Right. He gets his shrapnel stolen. I just don't think LFY could breach the high ground like this. They need to wrap around, make a play. The bear shows on the mid lane. They scout it out with the ward. Can Puck find him?
Bleeding.
Puck jumps in. They found him.
No, he pulls it back. Get out of there, Matoma Man says. It's not safe.
Fast reaction.
Pandas are endangered.
On that recall, and Sniper still working on this building. He's been here for like 2 minutes.
They're still hunting though. They're still pushing the bottom lanes. It's not going fast enough. LFY, this could be the time for a full committal. They push him back, ruptured up. Monet gets back to safety, throwing in the urns. Super doing the slow, but steady work from the low ground. Still has that Aegis, still has the Satanic BKB, has lots of extra lives. Mind Control might have to jump. The bear's back bottom. Liquid, just keep the yo-yo action going. Slow it down, split push it up. Don't let LFY come. Illuminate spam, shrapnel spam, towers down below half. The siege continues. It's getting low. They might have to make a committed jump soon. And Monet surging in again, trying to force the issue, banging on the tier 3. He'll bring it down. One more hit, the sniper does it. And they've also got the puck back. LFY playing this right so far. They have not made a mistake since that early split push. 55 minutes in. Keeping an eye on the buybacks here. There's 4 for LFY, and they've got the Aegis. Liquid only 2, but several of theirs gonna cool down soon. They've still got this one lane top blooming. That's all that stands between LFY and Megas.
Critically, Sniper also has ramped up to Satanic, so try to kill this guy 2 to 3 times in a row. They can control him very well with things like Savage Roar, with the fissures.
They're trying to get the bear again. They saw it head into the jungle.
That bear is elusive, man. The Mask of Man is coming in big right now.
He's even going Deso. He is all in on this split push, but
for sure.
He's all in on the hero kills. Worming his way through the trees, actually painting out Mind Control's exact position, almost like he knows he's there. Could roll in. He jumps forward. Creeping in the night. Afu, the pride of Southeast Asia, looking for the opening, but it's actually a flame. He gets in there first, and he catches enough. Monet moving forward. They get turned back for the racks. They get turned for objectives, focusing on El Doge, but they're buying time. They push Monet around, into the Echo, and into death, but still, Inflame answering back, blinking it with the silence, looking for more. The racks are being sieged. Liquid are not split pushing. Liquid are not split pushing. The bear now, all that's left. They commit. They commit. They will lose the sniper. He's coming back for round 2, though. Still, they haven't taken his racks.
He's got BKB.
Liquid are holding.
BKB activated, and now he's going to go right on everybody. Super cannot be controlled. The bear, that's the second life.
on the sideline. Miracle needs to get the hell out. So low, so low. Afu rolls him down. Everybody buys back, and their mothers too. Miracle's back in the game, fighting that sniper under the fountain.
He's gonna get left into the fountain.
Chaos. They're in the fountain.
Sniper is dead. Satanic. Can he actually come back? He's alive. He's in the fountain. Oh my God.
Rupture. They might want to go back the other way. Liquid not out of it yet. Miracle with the play now.
Oh my
he
God.
can dive back too.
Liquid.
He fights on.
Liquid can do it. Everyone's buybacks out. Everyone's still teleporting
Puck's
back in.
coming back in. They're not over yet. Gets the coil. Gets
Miracle.
the glimmer.
Where are the gems? Somebody save Miracle. Oh my God, infest kill.
Hiroki, they want the Rubik as well. Diving forward. Great Meg is down. 4 are dead. All that stands is the keeper of the light. GH, gotta be a goddamn hero, but the base in shambles. The Tier 4's being sieged.
They're going for the Tier 4s.
Every last trick, every last stop got pulled here for Liquid, and still, LFY, they're prevailing now. They're gonna take the Tier 4s. The throne is all that's left. Liquid, they poured their hearts out in this game 1, but the game is LFY's.
There is no way. They're going to make their best Savage Roar. The kick for the stun, blinding light cannot be casted. He's silenced. The throne is down.
Unbelievable. Wow. Sensational showing here. LGD, forever young, stayed, I wouldn't say cool, calm, and collected, but just enough, Lumi. Liquid tried to drive them to the brink of insanity, and they survived.
Credit to Team Liquid, despite being down so much, we still see the Matamba Man, Aghanim Scepter Bear able to actually claw back Elena Rax, another Tier 3, and just put the fear into LFY, but was not enough, man. Was not enough.
This entire stadium was on their feet the last 10, 15 minutes of that game. They were all in, and so were Liquid. 48-17 the final score, but it didn't feel that one-sided at all.
It didn't at all. Also, that was so many BOTs in that game. The puck getting the Lucha Orb, that was so clowny.
The stolen coil, it was a smoke dodge from the Rubik of an Assassinate. Like, every last stop pulled out by Liquid. They need a better start.
They do. I feel like the Miracle Bloodseeker just got neutered super hard in the early game. He did have his huge impact as he turned level 25,
but they are smiling. They still look confident even in defeat. Can they bounce back? LGD Forever Young lead the series 1-0.
The legend of the Bear almost backdooring Team Liquid into a victory. And time again, Puck tried to track the Bear down. It didn't work, and Team Liquid almost won an insane game. LFY showing why they deserve to be here on the final day. And I mean, we're going to start right from the beginning of that match where LFY immediately took control. Purge, I know you got a lot to say about the early game. I'm going to pass it right to you.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful opening game by LFY.
Really I thought coming into the match today that Liquid would have the better setup with their drafting. I thought that they were going to have this figured out, but I actually think it was LFY that had the advantage here. And the reasons being is I believe they think that the two important heroes for Liquid are both Bloodseeker as well as the Necrolite, which they ended up banning in the first phase. So those are the two heroes that they had to play around. They also grabbed a Lich to ensure that one of their lanes was going to go really favorably if they wanted to shut somebody down. But the really big hero for LFY that really solved all the problems is Lifestealer. He matches up very well against melee heroes. He does well late game, and it basically gave them this really nice laning advantage. If we look at the other ones, the bot lane here is pretty much a wash for both sides, and the mid lane pretty much a wash for the mid lane. But in the off lane for LFY, basically the safe lane for Liquid here, it's very easy for Bloodseeker to trade against Lifestealer, and that's because every single time that he hits him with his Feast skill, it's going to Lifestealer, give him some health back, and make sure that he trades always better than Bloodseeker. So Bloodseeker normally good at laning like Necrolite, good at getting hero kills later. He got shut down in the early game, and it put Liquid in this really weird position. They had to get Midases because Bloodseeker wasn't going to be able to contribute very well to the match otherwise because he just doesn't match up against Lifestealer. And the other problem is Lifestealer even matches up well against the Lone Druid, so it just put Liquid in this really bad place for a long period in the game. They had to put wards all over the map to make sure that they weren't getting ganked from LFY, because if they did, they were going to get ultra far behind, and that is basically why it was just so hard for them to win that game.
Yeah, I mean, we honestly thought that we were going to be coming out here at 25 minutes because Inflame on Puck just kept getting every single character that was hidden anywhere got snatched up. I mean, Liquid, though, what a recovery to make that game go on.
It's just amazing how they actually managed to stay in the game for so long. they actually they like were in a very weird position where they actually wanted to just farm on the lone route to get this radiance, but since Bloodseeker had like such a bad game, they didn't really have any hero to back him up, so they just got into this Midas farming game, which isn't really how you want to play it.
Yeah, it's not really how they wanted to play it, but it was kind of like the only way that they could play it, and like we were saying, they made a hell of a run of trying to get back into that game.
And seeing Inflame always playing the trees reminded me of playing versus the old Cloud9, and the orb was actually really useful in catching these heroes that love to hide in the trees. I can't count how many times he caught the Keeper, caught the Lone Druid over and over again.
Yeah. And I mean, the opening advantage almost seemed insurmountable for Team Liquid. And I mean, though they were able to extend it on, we really got to see why LFY is here in the top 3. And I mean, Jack, Machine, talk to us a little bit about LFY. That was quite a game 1.
I mean, we basically were ready to go 25 minutes ago. Yeah, we really were. But I don't know if Matumba Man has broads in Atlanta, but that Panda was playing some, it kind of resembled somewhat of a rat, actually, Jack.
A Chinese team nearly being ratted to death by a panda.
Beautiful. Look at that summation. But we should probably talk a little bit more, of course, in this magical corner. First things first, it's kind of getting a read, the consensus, general consensus across the board of like their read on Liquid as well as LF1.
Well, most people that I asked, whether it's panelists, casters, or fans, were like, Liquid's unstoppable. They're just going to own everyone tomorrow. And the reason for that is partly because there's a superstition about, in Chinese they say it's milking it, giving it nai. It's like you talk something up and then that ends up becoming like a caster's curse or a jinx. Then it becomes the poison milk. So they wanted to avoid giving the poison milk and of course saying Liquid's going to own everyone. At the same time though, Liquid does have a pretty big following in China. Like they've won the last 2 tournaments there on Chinese soil at Star Ladder. Obviously Miracle is like a global star. And then there's cool nicknames for some of the other players too. Kuroki, very well respected. K-God, one of the original Dota 1 stars. And then you've got GH, who was known as Go Home. You've got Matumba Man, who was known as Toilet Man or Toilet Bro, because his name, the starter's name sounds
no,
a bit
you
like
can't
toilet.
just, you have to explain this one.
Okay, well,
Matumba Man, Toilet Man.
Matumba Man is a hard name to say. So the start of his name sounds like Matong, which means basically toilet in Chinese. So
right.
Became the Toilet Bro. And then,
so you've got like Grabby on one side, Grabby McGee, and Toilet Bro.
Yeah. So
I love the Chinese nicknames.
So they're a well-respected team. And even the Chinese panel, like Mikasa and them, were saying, hey, we'd like to see Liquid go on. We'd like to see a China versus the world type of final. They like that situation too.
Sure.
So I think they're a well-welcome team and people would like to see them there.
And of course, one final question, which is just that we saw this matchup relatively recently, right? We were talking about it backstage. At Epicenter, we got to see Liquid best LFY. So my question is, have you heard, of adjustments that they've made coming into TI?
I think if you see from the bans in the first game, like Liquid are a team that use lane pressure better than anyone else. And the heroes that were banned, I think it was Necrophos, the Broodmother, and the Necro. Sorry, there's one Huskar. Like these are heroes that either push lanes out very well and are very difficult to gank with less than 2 or 3 people. So if you have to rotate those heroes over, then suddenly your other lanes are under pressure or they know that the gank is coming. So LFY has kind of drafted, it seems, to adjust to that. One way of doing it is just being more mobile, having heroes that can gank and not give up another lane in response. And I don't know if it's whether Kuro is learning from the puppy tree or those harsh lessons years ago at the hands of Ake and Alliance, but Kuro has used that lane pressure very well, and you see how difficult these games are.
You were saying the same kind of thing, weren't you, PPD? I mean, you were saying that Brood and Huskar, those are heroes that are going to change the game.
Yeah, throughout this lower bracket run of Liquid, they've been putting a ton of pressure on lanes, playing incredibly fast. In this game, they didn't really have any heroes that demanded LFY's attention. They were able to just kind of sit in their lanes and farm with Lich and take an early game advantage and snowball off of that.
Well, we are going to go ahead and roll out of here. We're going to go watch the next game. I'll leave it with you, Sean.
Thank you, Machine. Thank you, Jack. I mean, LFY played so amazingly well. I mean, I'm a bit of a shameless Team Liquid fan, but one of my favorite things about this entire event is the international fanboys, or the fan base that's out there. Are there any LFY fans in the audience today? We could hear the roar from all the way outside. Casey got the chance to catch up a little bit with Inflame.
First question is a very simple one. How did you come to join LFY?
老干爹的经理找到了我，然后但是他们队少3后卫，然后刚好我那段时间想进一步的提升自己吧，就来了。
You and Afu came on board in May. How do you think that transformed the team the way that it needed to be heading into Epicenter?
我觉得，加上我们2个的话，会就我们几个人的性格啊、游戏打法、对游戏的理解，然后都会比较的相对的协调吧。就大家都会游戏风格比较类似，然后 沟通起来很顺畅。我们平常的交流啊，然后感觉在一起比较放松嘛，就大家就很简单的、自然的就打得会比之前大家各在各的队伍打得会好很多。
Were there any big takeaways from Epicenter that might help you as you look ahead to TI as far as the biggest differences in style between Chinese Dota and Western Dota, if any changes?
就感觉我们的阵容啊搭配比较单一吧，然后我们会吸取每个队的打法风格啊，然后再加上我们个人的选手的习惯啊，会有更多的打法和应对不同的队伍的风格吧。
Are there other teams here that you're most looking forward to going up against, or any other teams that you have your eye on?
我们在 TI7应该是最想战胜 Liquid 的吧，因为我们之前训练和比赛对他们的胜率其实是比较低的，我比较想战胜他们。
How would that feel to beat them on the TI stage?
应该算是一个比较惊喜的事情吧，因为我们其实算输给他们挺多次了，就不算比赛在训练啊。就我们队是一个比较少争执的队伍，但是可能每次因为跟他们训练，我们都会有很多的争执。
You did an interview with Cybersport and you said that your team plays easily together. Why do you think that is, and why do you think that's been so important in your success?
我待过很多的战队，在 LFY 的话是，我们大家都会比较的就能沟通嘛，就大家如果有谁犯了错啊，我们会一起讨论啊，怎么样？然后我们大家都会比较虚心的接受队友的建议啊，然后我们大家一起进步，就会不会让气氛很尴尬的那种，就是大家觉得一个人很厉害，然后都要听他的。
So someone told me that you changed your name in honor of the name of an upcoming book of a Chinese martial arts series. I'm curious about that and whether you draw inspiration from the entertainment, anime, comics world at all.
我觉得会的吧，就一个人性格总是会有很多的，就周围你根据你的经历啊，会影响挺多事情的。就比如我之前我在HAMBURG的时候就比较单纯的，然后比较激进的吧，算是性格比较就单纯的就想打 Dota 赢啊，就很简单。现在会不给自己太多的压力啊，不想影响自己，然后感觉现在是比较沉稳吧。
Inflame has made a fan out of me, certainly. I mean, I feel like if you watch someone who's a little better than you do some sick plays, you go, why can't I get someone like that on my team in my pubs? You watch Inflame play and you go, how does anyone do that? How does anyone predict that accurately where everyone's hiding in the trees? Inflame has just been sensational on LFY.
He took direction of that game with the puck, constant lifesteal bombs all over the place, everywhere, grabbing so many kills for LFY in that mid game and really like cemented them headed into the late game.
He has so much responsibility, too. That's a really difficult position to play. Like, if you spend your time with the lifesteal inside of you and you don't get kills, you're going to fall really far behind, especially when you're dealing with recalls. So yeah, he had a really important position in the game, and he delivered.
Yeah, I mean, you're taking up two people's farming time, yours and lifestealers.
It's actually quite common that like Nikes is usually like for too long inside the puck, and then he's just like falling behind and just.
There's a real delicate balance there. It's like, maybe I've been in this puck a little too long. Maybe I should pop out.
And then you like get into this state where you're like, but I have been invested for this for so long. I don't want to jump out now.
Let's not call this a mistake. Let's just you'll find somebody.
It was a plan. And I know that there are a ton of fans out in the crowd, both for LFY and Team Liquid. Casey's with some of them right now. Casey, what's the energy like out there?
Let's see. What is it like? Let's just all take a deep breath. Oh my gosh, everybody did. It's still happening! Okay, so what did you think about what we just saw here and just how the excitement of being able to watch that so up close and personal?
Wow, that was an amazing game. I was really nervous for the old fat sheep. You can ask Jack about that. It's a nickname for LFY. while you're at it, Jack, you can explain the cow's private part nickname for newbie. That's a challenge for the next Jack's Corner, but...
I didn't think this was turning into a challenge for Jack's Corner. Like, translate that, Jack!
But no, Jack does an amazing job, but that was a great game. It was, as an LFI supporter, was so nervous until they managed to kill the bear a few times. Probably, 拿回去吃火锅了! 拿回去吃火锅了! 拿回去吃火锅了!
We do actually have some Liquid fans here too, so what do you think? Are your boys gonna be able to come back and do it?
Yeah, I think they could do it. I'm just happy, love it or hate it, I'm happy to see Rat Dota being back. It makes for some exciting Dota. That last fight was insane.
All right, so who thinks it's gonna be Liquid in this next game? And who thinks it's gonna be LFY? It's kind of weird, it's like half and half. All right, you guys, come on, I wanna hear everybody in the stadium. Come on, make some noise. We'll send it back to you guys. We are ready for game 2 in here. Don't know about you.
Dota really is a common language for people all over the world who don't share English, Russian, Chinese, same language in common. They get to play Dota with each other. They get to sort of see each other's personalities. They get to make friendships, and that truly is one of my favorite parts about gaming everywhere. So thank you all so much for coming out, and for all of you to tune in online. Game 2 is underway right now. It's LFY versus Team Liquid in the lower finals.
LFY versus Team Liquid. Game 2.
You know, PPD, we were talking about before this match came up.
This is our happy time, man.
Yeah, this is it.
This is the last day of the international. This is almost as good as it gets.
I really like this Prophet pick in the early phase here. As Peter was saying before, that the last game they didn't really have any heroes that LFY needed to address, but Prophet is a hero you don't want to give too much space early, and he can also make space in the middle of the game to open up the map.
Teleporting all around the map, can play incredibly fast. Liquid can have 2 to 3, maybe even 4 heroes in a lane almost instantly.
I think he can take advantage of the Lich too. Lich is really immobile, and I think he's actually pretty successful with tower diving too, because you're constantly playing around there.
Yeah, I like it. I like the Shaker and Nature's Prophet combo, especially up against the Lich. You have all these summons, but then you also protect all of your summons by taking away Earthshaker from the other team.
And look at this. We see the exact same picks and bans in order from LFY. Team Liquid being the first one to switch things up, get a Nature's Prophet instead of Keeper of the Light. And, you know, okay, there was something you said about too many teams are trying to shut down as much as they can by banning Wisp and Coddle. And the LFY took a different approach, kind of letting them get Coddle. And do you think the Team Liquid maybe played into that a little bit by both choosing Earthshaker and Coddle in that last game?
It's been working for them before, but I think it was a good approach that LFY took, and it just comes down to how they laned as well. I think if they would have laned differently and let the Bloodseeker get some farm in the early game, it might have been more difficult for them, but that combined with the picks with the laning really made it difficult for Liquid to make the lineup work the last game.
I think this game, Earthshaker is most definitely going to be played by GH. I think that was like part of their mistake, was really trying to taking both Shaker and Coddle. It's like Mind Control hasn't played a lot of Earthshaker this tournament. He's played a lot more Furions and Beastmasters, and I think those like split push heroes are where he excels the most. I think that's where his real strength is knowing the map and working that vision advantage rather than like these huge team fights.
Bloodseeker is so popular in the final stages.
Rising quickly. We're going to see a lot of them today, I think.
Usually his disadvantage, or his, I don't know what to call it, but the Bloodseeker, like, he suffers against strong lanes. So if you actually lane against him, like 2 or 3 people even, he doesn't get the time to heal up with his blood right.
Like Ben was saying, very good in one-on-ones because of his ability to lifesteal and trade very well. But once it's, you know, maybe 2 or 3 heroes, he really doesn't offer a lot to like a try-v-try or dual lane setup.
What do you guys think about Nyx being ignored in this entire draft?
It's surprising. I feel like LFY could definitely still go for it. I really like it against Furion.
Yeah, Nyx Assassin had an 80% win rate in the group stages, and as the main event progressed, it dropped a little bit, but still stayed strong at 75.
LFY keep it open a bit. I think Liquid doesn't really want to pick it with the Shaker to have like both Shaker and Nyx as supports, but at the same time I think Kuroki can still play the Nyx as a 5 if they want to go that way.
Yeah, they could do that. I don't know. Trying to think. I think it's important for LFY to have a lot of creep clear up against Furion, especially when you have a Lich on your team. You kind of want to make that Chain Frost effective as much as you can. So Bloodseeker and Puck have a lot of AoE to... Okay, back to the Crystal Maiden. We've seen this hero a couple times now against Lich. Liquid taking it up. I think Kuroki's played it once or twice this tournament, and they've obviously had success on it, being in the lower bracket final today.
Fits well together with the Prophet as well to make sure that he has this extra mana to summon more trees and be more annoying in the phase.
GH can also just run around on that Earthshaker, probably with first item boots, and you'll not have to worry about ferrying out clarities or going back to base.
So right now, LFY, would you describe them as quite strong at ganking with this lineup of Puck and Tusk, who both have a lot of mobility to bomb in, and Bloodseeker?
Yeah, I think they have the ability to play fast. Most definitely. Puck is kind of their only control right now. Tusk is he's a strange hero. He initiates fights, but doesn't really have a ton of catch, at least in my opinion. Most like that looks like a Matumba Man Venomancer, I would guess.
Liquid has a lot of ways to actually scout LFY now with the Treants and as well as the Venomancer wards. So if LFY is gonna try to catch them, and they're gonna have to address this like Treants and the split push.
Yeah, Venom also a really strong laner. He can do pretty well solo, and like Crystal Maiden maybe farm some jungle creeps, and then the occasional Earthshaker gank coming in will allow him to secure kills on the lane.
Yeah, I think that can't be overstressed because Crystal Maiden really struggles to get levels with the change in the jungle that happened a few months ago.
Yeah, she's a little bit slower, but you know, people feel like the aura is still good enough to pick the hero, and I agree. I like the hero. I'm a little... I guess what I really like from Liquid is that their draft looks like a Liquid draft. Last game, it was a little... I mean, we saw a lot of the heroes that some of these classic heroes that the players play, but not in that kind of combination together. Usually it's, you know, one or two of these. They didn't really get all of them together too much this tournament, and it changed their playstyle. I don't think that they were too comfortable with the heroes that they had, and this draft looks a little bit more them for me.
LFY, I think, have a real hard time dealing with split push right now. I think they're a pretty decent team fight, but getting around these Nature's Prophet summons, these Venom wards, is just not really the lineup to do so. I think they have a lot of problem getting vision on the map, having problems with Morphling. AM, probably not as big of an issue because they do have the Bloodseeker.
Oh. An Alchemist final pick out of Team Liquid, and we've seen Alchemist completely warp games.
They're going back for Lifestealer?
I'm a bit concerned with the Alchemist because they can put Lich mid, LFY can, and
yeah.
Then Liquid is going to have a Maiden who can't really help mid that much. She's not that strong.
Yeah,
and
Shaker won't do that much either, right?
And then the other hero they have is Shaker, so Alchemist might suffer a bit of on the last hits in the early game.
He seems like the hero who's going to be the hardest to help on Liquid. You know, I'm sure Shaker could gank Nature's Prophet's lane or Venomancer's lane pretty easily and secure a kill, but where Liquid will most likely need help will be enabling Miracle to have a good early game.
At the same time, he always finds his farm, so Liquid will probably, as I say, focus on the other lanes and make sure that the Prophet is going to keep the safe lane where it is.
Like Bloodseeker goes mid against him, for example, like Bloodseeker is going to be incredibly farmed, and he's going to be off to a really early start, and he can run around and, you know, he could get an early Shadow Blade and start picking on.
As well, so it might turn into this game where like just chasing the Alchemist in the jungle and he just can't find the farm.
Yeah, if they get, I wonder if Bloodseeker would even consider going Hood. But if he got like an early Hood and he's running around with Ice Armor, I think he'd be unkillable for like the first 20 minutes.
I think I prefer him as a 1 though, here.
Yeah.
And Super, they've been giving him more hard carries. The Sniper that we saw,
Super is stepping it up. Yeah. Like we saw him playing a lot of these like hard 2 heroes like Pugnas and Death Prophets and Omni Knight and Bristlebacks, like kind of these like simpler heroes. But look at him stepping it up and like playing an incredible Sniper last game. We saw him play Storm Spirit not too long ago. Really kind of stepping up his game, at least in my opinion.
And as you said before, looks like Bloodseeker will be mid, facing against Miracle's Alchemist, and that is going to be one of the big stories of this match. Can Miracle do what Alchemists do best and gobble up all the farm on the map? Or will LFY be able to shut Team Liquid down and advance to the grand finals? Let's find out in Game 2.
Team Liquid has attended 6 internationals, Lumi, and they have never gotten to the final day before. This is their first time here on Championship Saturday. They are 1 game away from elimination. They've gone for a different draft here, picking up the Alchemist to round it out, and LFY, they had a chance to reply. They grabbed the Terrorblade early, or in response, I should say, so they go for some heavy push here to round things out.
I really like that Team Liquid, even though that Miracle didn't have a good last game, really struggled to find that level 6. The Bloodseeker almost, I want to say, did fairly little throughout the mid and late game. They still have the confidence to go back into superstar players like Miracle. This game is you. We're going to stack camps for you. We're going to protect your jungle for you, and you're going to carry us.
Crucial to that game plan will be the mind control Nature's Prophet. This hero has risen as one of the stronger early laners, and where perhaps the Crystal Maiden can't really help mid out that much, maybe the Shaker won't be able to do much, it could fall to the Prophet of mind control to secure the early laning stage. So we'll see how Liquid want to lane it as they enter the fields of Dota. Could be their last time if they can't pull this one out. Afu running something different here. He is playing the Tusk this time around, and I know you mentioned during the draft there was a Nyx available, so interesting to see. I think this is, to me, probably more just about keeping Afu comfortable and getting him something he wants to play, even if it's not like the most meta hero necessarily.
Oh, he's really good on the Nyx Assassin as well. And I know, I don't want to be a Captain High Side, but Nyx Assassin, Spike Carapace, in terms of the mid-game ganks that you could do against an Alchemist, those are great. But instead, he is going to be playing the Tusk. I think the most important point that we should begin this game is talk about how can LFY invade the jungle, because you know that's what Team Liquid's going to be doing. They're going to stack Ancients, they're going to stack multiple camps. Do they have the heroes that you could go in and either disrupt a stack that's being taken or just steal it altogether? I think that's where Bloodseeker, for example, is going to be fairly decent at, where Puck could just blow out a couple of creep camps and waves.
I actually think the Terrorblade is very important there, not for the jungle invasion, but he's the one that takes these towers down.
Sure.
So he needs to have a good early start, and they need to make great use of Metamorphosis. They don't really have any push outside of that. You know, there's a Puck, but there's no Drow to back her up. We're going to see some early pressure here from Mind Control as the battle for the runes begins in just a second, and the Fissure comes through. They might even get the first blood now. Monet's got to get back out of here very quickly. They're hounding him with auto attacks. He does have quite high armor. DDC in reserve, and now the snowball forward. Maybe it turns the other way. Mind Control still in pursuit. Now turning back, retreating to safety. Liquid, you mentioned invasion plays of LFY later on in the game, but Liquid are already getting aggressive here.
DDC eating a creep, okay. That is some impressive amount of damage that they did to Terrorblade. 11 base armor with the poor man shield. Still, they were able to chunk him down.
So they're dodging the matchups here. They're going to actually, as we'll see, Afu continue the pressure Mind Control. They're sending the Alchemist bottom, Lumi. Traditionally, this hero as a core is almost always mid, just given the great access to the runes and especially the bounty runes.
Yeah, I think this is a beautiful lane
Roll
matchup.
in, Mind Control with the TP out, but LFY score the first blood. Early to get on the board here. Matumba Man will look to answer back, but with the help of GH, they move on to Super, holding that Fissure in reserve. They're going to slowly work him down. Super likely going down unless he gets some crazy last hits off, and he won't. So Liquid do answer back.
Yeah, we're starting to see why this is such a good lane matchup for the Venom against the Bloodseeker. If you land that Venom at scale, it doesn't matter if he's getting a couple of last hits. He still has that Blood Rage on himself, and he'll take a... There you go, again.
Flame trying to jump away down into the river. He's going to take some heavy punishment. We'll get back to safety, but he is definitely not having the kind of start he did last time around as the action continues to heat up mid. Matumba Man looking for the follow-up here from the Shaker. Might be diving Super under the tower. GH comes through with the Fissure. Matumba Man looking for pursuit. Afu is here just to try and salvage this a bit. The Venom mid
needs to get every last hit here.
Super down. He's got to get these last hits to stay in fighting shape, and he's going to miss that range.
There's a Gale. There's a Gale available.
The connection. Super didn't get it. Super maybe going to go down. Just gets the one denied. Fissure. GH does it again, and now they might get Afu too.
He's got Snowball.
Afu trying to retreat, worming his way through the trees. Snowball, but where's he going to go? Which way does he roll?
He's got shards.
Afu. One more auto attack. They can't get a range. Just had GH in pursuit. The shard block away. Afu finds the answer. But still, GH is
GH has clarity. It's going to be a long clarity. I don't know.
It's going to be a long, long chase, my friend. But he does at least force him on his heels. So this switch up from Liquid is working wonders for the mid lane, and it's going to find bottom, at least for now. Lumi, Miracle is CSing very well here.
I wouldn't say fine. I say they're doing beautifully, because the Puck also, by comparison, is not doing anything. Crystal Maiden, not the best zoner, but always threatening a kill with the Frostbite. Frostbite going on the Puck here. They're going to harass him down a little bit more. Face committed. He needs to orb out of here right now.
And he will
But lane 1, right? No Shrine available. He needs to make the walk.
And soon enough, that may not be a way to get out safely. Once Mind Control gets a few more levels, potentially Puck actually dies there.
Yep.
So.
Of course, the Mind Control Prophet could always just port in to help out these mid kills as well.
So how do you feel about the choice of LFY to focus the Lich on top? It is really slowing Mind Control down early here.
I think that as soon as the Lich...
Miracle could be in danger. Heads to the north. The Prophet there to turn the tides. Mind Control should be able to get Inflame as a trade, but they have lost their prized Alchemist. The Jukes.
Hurl's gonna die.
Inflame coming up clutch. Mike Kuroki now on the run, and Afu hammering him down. One more auto attack scores the kill. The Puck gets out. LFY coming up the clean win, and now even searching for Mind Control. They forced him to TP for this. He's got nothing out of this rotation aside from some creeps. Costly for Liquid.
Very smart movement by Afu. Came in for the kill, and as soon as he got the kill, he got level 3.
Still chasing, though.
He should be fine.
Inflame will be finally forced on his heels and likely back to the well.
Yeah, as soon as Afu turned level 3, he leveled up his Frozen Sigil instead of upgrading his either of his first 2 spells, and as a result was able to pick up the Kuroki kill. But still, I think what is the most important thing for me right now is that LFY Super is not having an all-star game. He's getting absolutely shut down. We've seen Miracle last game getting shut down.
It's such a smart matchup by Liquid because even, you mentioned like you're going to get galed when you go into last hit, and the thing is like he doesn't even have to get you. He can just auto attack you and pressure you back. So LFY finally going to rotate DDC towards the middle lane. The Gale comes out. DDC in position. He's going to first deny that one creep. GH marching forward. The Frost Armor in play now. Not going to really be too much of an issue for the Veno.
The big difference is that whenever Super goes in for a last hit, it could be his death.
Yes.
And Matumba Man just does this very safely.
What does still in pursuit? GH lurking in the trees. There's still no vision here for LFY. The fissure comes through. Gale to connect. Afu perhaps to the rescue, and now snowballing forward onto Matumba Man, onto GH, who dives deeper for this. He doesn't even have he does have the totem swing, but the Frost Armor keeps him alive. Matumba Man gets the last hit on Super. Now trying to back away the Sigil. Flies high.
He's got stick.
Matumba stays alive up to the high ground. He's gonna be Gale soon. Afu. No, he gets the kill. Oh, if that Gale came out, if he lived one more auto attack, it's likely Afu's death getting Galed under tower. Instead, Afu, the savior of this laning stage for LFY. Certainly not the first time he's been that.
And LFY just being very active. They smoke up on the mid lane. But they're not going really anywhere.
Where do they go? They might want to roam on this Alchemist bottom. They're thinking about it. Super being pressured. And meanwhile, the Courier getting sniped. Beautiful pick there by Mind Control. As you can see, he rotated deep behind the tier 2 top to bring it down.
I think they're setting up a kill on Matumba Man, but gonna be a tough one here.
Gonna try fishing. LFY. We saw pretty much every smoke gank, every early rotation paid off for them last time around. This game, not so much, Lumi.
Yep.
Only that one really good fight in the bottom lane. And all the while, Alchemist topping the last hit charts right there with the Terrorblade. He does have the one death, but it doesn't feel like they've shut this Alchemist down. Leader in net worth by 500 gold. You know that's going to accelerate.
He's at half HP. They see him.
He doesn't have his level 6 just yet. Now the Frost, the Nova coming out, the follow-up snowball through. Shards to connect. Afu trying to finish off Miracle. He is relatively
the Centaur!
And the Centaur 6-man for Team Liquid.
Is it enough that the Fissure's going to come in?
Sigil!
They have vision next to Blood.
Oh my god, he just walks away. The Centaur MVP. Afu swings around.
And all the while they're pushing mid. Mind Control, he came into this fairly abandoned lane. Miracle cheering himself on as Liquid close in on their first tower. This is going to open up the map for the Alchemist. LFY slow to respond. Tower down. Liquid, a big win for them. Lumi, they're up 3,000 gold already.
Critically, we have LFY getting the Rupture very, very soon. The Puck also about to hit level 6, so I think we're going to see the first power spike of LFY. It is very important that they use these coils in conjunction with the Terrorblade. Terrorblade should TP in, they coil, they get a kill, and they get a tower. They need to do this repeatedly and apply a ton of pressure on this Miracle. You could even argue that
this
Miracle
Bloodseeker is poorer than dirt right now.
Yeah, he is.
I know the panel mentioned we're likely to see a lot more Bloodseeker, but this seems to be a case study in how you don't want the hero to
or how to
be
run.
Bloodseeker. Yeah, just Veno him mid, and he'll get shut down.
Well, we're going to see Gale.
Now the Poison Nova to follow up. Terrorblade does have the early Sunder. They're going to try to kite him from range.
He's getting kited non-stop.
He's ticking down. Treants are hounding him. Monet's gonna have to sunder. DDC says, here, you take the punishment.
They're still blocking him, though.
The blocks! Mind control! Coming in deeper, they might get 2 hero kills. Afu arrives, looking to save the day. Monet's not dead
Deny him? Deny him?
Not dead yet. Doesn't get the deny, they get 2. Liquid.
They'll get 3 here.
The advantage. Afu to fall. GH finishes the job.
Mind control. He might be dying here. Puck misses his orb. Super micro on his little tree, and the rapid nature on point. 10 out of 10 Prophet play, man.
Oh God, you do not want to fall behind early to a Prophet and an out. Even the Veno, like these heroes with early towers down, they just extend their tentacles around the map, you know, and it gets hard to go anywhere. You're all farming on your own, all of a sudden, Prophet jumps you, Fissure comes in from Fog, you lose a core. We'll have another look at this fight. It just shows the power of the Venomancer and the versatility of Matumba Man is one of the few carry players that consistently can rotate to mid when duty calls.
Yeah.
I think he's been playing mid more than Miracle this tournament down the stretch.
That might be one for the stats man to figure out, but really good back and forth jukes, force out the Sunder, and LFY makes the best play they can by committing for the kill, but they lose out 3 for that Venomancer kill. Not worth.
It also shows where the Veno could be very useful later on against the Terrorblade with that slow that persists even after you beat KB. Just a good way to kite him, maybe keep him out of the Sunder range.
Yeah. I think also the more important factor is that we've seen Metamorphosis being used so many times now.
Smoke up from LFY, looking to get back in this game.
This is their game plan.
This
use Metamorphosis
for them.
Get a kill.
Alchemist is not home though. In fact, top lane, they're looking for a dive at the same time that LFY sets this one up. They're going to find that puck. He tries to jump away. Meanwhile, bottom the roll forward. Fissure is there to interrupt, and Matumba Man standing his ground. He tries to stay alive. Afu's not getting the job done. Afu likely to fall here.
I think they just went a little bit too soon. Monet didn't have the Metamorphosis just yet. He couldn't attack the Vision.
But still mind control.
One more?
Will be chopped down. Super with the trade. Somehow Inflame jukes them all out, stays alive. LFY pulling out all the stops. They do lose the Nature's Prophet. Had Inflame died earlier there. Perhaps this tower falls. Oh, playing with fire. Knows that Prophet is dead, but could buy back if he sees an opportunity.
This reminds me of that Alchemistic game that Ergo played earlier. Just look at him. He's free farming. Nobody's interrupting him at all.
I can't believe that these LFY heroes got out of that fight. And that is really the silver lining. Is like, sure, LFY, Afu miraculously gets back to Fountain with the TP, and meanwhile, you do have the puck living.
Bottom lane.
LFY are still in danger of losing Monet, and all the while, Miracle's farming up. There's
Trap him.
There's the surround, completely trapped in. An army of Treants slowly working him down. He stands strong, but they nuke him down. Slowly from range, Kuro's gonna pay, but well worth it for the greater good as Liquid find one and GH. He's looking for more. Fissure comes through. Sprout as well. Sprout MVP of this game so far. DDC down. Mind control backing off. GH getting pushed away by the creep. Super joins the fray. But what can Super really do? He can't help it. Afu and Matumba Man gets another.
They got Fissure. They will use it
Sprout
here.
again. Sprout again. He's got the path out. That early Quelling Blade saving lives. Still though, pressure, pressure, pressure. And all the while out, he's hitting creeps. 2K net worth advantage now. Alchemist, the question was, how will he lane? Will the Lich be able to slow him down early? But they dodged that matchup. And Miracle has just been free farming all the while. Clock's the ticking for LFY. But Matumba Man TP still coming through. He gets him in time. Afu is there. Will
Echo Slam.
Echo! Just a second late, the Venom will fall. But still they're getting the trades. Afu gets muscled out. And all the while, Miracle is pushing and farming top. Liquid, the two-pronged assault is paying off.
Oh, they're teleporting right behind DDC. DDC's gonna get Sprout as well. They're gonna right-click him down. Chain Frost, not gonna be enough. Couple more right-clicks. Puck coming in here. He needs to salvage this fight.
He's got stick. He can fight this maybe. Coil even committed. LFY blowing a lot. By controlling the trees.
Okay.
Goes for the TP.
He should die. He should die on this TP. No, he canceled the TP.
The jukes.
They still see him though with a blood. Okay, still jukes.
LFY.
One more, couple more. He's still alive right now.
Whoa, okay. Oh, he does finally fall, but top lane looming. They got the tower. He's still hitting creeps. He's now got 1,000 more gold in the bank. The relic is coming soon. LFY have an alchemist problem. They haven't even taken that top tier 1. That's normally the strength of a Terrorblade pick, is to at least get those early towers with the Metamorph. That's not happening.
Also, we got one of the fastest Blink Dagger on a 4-position support. 12 minutes in, Shaker has picked it up, and we're going to watch this beautiful juke left and right. If he completed that TP out there, he dies to the Coil Snap, recognizing that Mind Control says, nope, I'm going to taunt, and just walk it off. He does eventually die, but...
Space.
Yeah, space indeed.
And now more space opening up.
More blocks, though.
The blocks
The
coming
blocks.
through. Quelling Blade, you're
The
your way
blocks.
out of this one. Super, these trees can't be brought down so easy. But he will finally make it back. Again, Bloodseeker, he's so far down in the net worth, Lumi. He's sitting below the enemy Earthshaker.
Support Bloodseeker.
Of course, it is a support Bloodseeker. He's going for a 4-step. Oh, it'll help you a bit with the rupture damage, but this is not the script that LFY had cooked up. Now Liquid, a 7,000 gold lead. It's kind of shades of game 2 from yesterday where the lanes just went so well for them. It's hard to see how the opposition can get back in the game. How do LFY recover from this point?
I'm not too sure. The plan A of getting ahead with Metamorphosis, sieging your towers, getting a ton of picks with your Bloodseeker, none of that is coming online because they don't have that good laning stage.
And look at this. They know. They know LFY is all lurking around the tier 2, so they're going to make the move in the bottom lane. On Inflame they go. He'll jaunt away to safety, but they're just pulling LFY apart. Yep. Meanwhile, the top lane being pushed in by that Prophet. All the while, Liquid maintaining a good balance of farm, and now they're descending on mid. They want to bring down Monet. They do manage to frostbite him. Still, he retreats. The Prophet's coming in, but they are fighting under a shrine. This could be bad. They've had second thoughts. TP.
Oh, the shards.
Snowball forward. Big commitment from Afu, but Curl gets back and away to safety. Now Afu's in too deep. Blood Right coming in, but will it be enough? Afu won't make it out. Now LFY looking for more. Rupture on the Veno, but you don't want to fight up that cliff. The high ground is Liquid's, and Super backs down. Now Liquid starting to congregate, and all the while, Alk just keeps on farming. Relic, 250 gold away. Radiance, recipe already picked up, so it's about to be a 14.5-minute Radiance armlet.
Yeah,
he's got the Relic gold now.
He's got the Soul Ring in between that slowed down the timing a little bit, but still very, very good compared to LFY's game plan. Like, I don't think they could deal with the Radiance.
They do see mind control here, but Liquid are backing him up. They come in force. Echo Flash with the totem. Now the turn. The Chain Frost bouncing, but Creep there to soak it up.
Chain Frost
alive. GH still standing. Somehow he lives on. Oh, no! One last Chain Frost bounce does bring him down. LFY, God, they needed it, but still, end of the day, Liquid, they don't lose a key core here. The Shaker already has his Blink Dagger, so he's not too worried about this. So now in the mid lane, Super's being pressured again, but Tumba will tank the Rupture, but throwing a lot for him, and Alk's coming in from the rear. Look for the stun, revved up onto Super, mauls him down, but Tumba stands strong, and Liquid are just swarming to the point of attack, zerging their way across the map. Just a caravan of heroes pursuing out Afu, driving him back on his heels.
They got Sprout, if he has vision.
They have the Alk coming in from the side, the good shards block, but now they get the vision. They know that Inflame is low. Just look at the way Liquid are playing this. It feels like they have that Coddle and the early tower advantage, the Broodmother even, just the level of aggression is enormous.
Yeah, also the big difference is that LFY cannot come back in this game via split push like the way that Team Liquid extended it last game. You don't have heroes like Keeper of the Light, you don't have heroes like the Bear. I mean, your best split pusher is the Puck, but I don't know how much a Puck can do. The Puck by himself also isn't very good at hitting buildings. I feel like LFY has earned a one-way ticket to Game 3. I just don't see what their lineup could do here.
They have not GG'd out yet, so certainly LFY feel like they have their ways back in, and we have seen clutch plays from them. We have seen mistakes throughout this tournament. That's the pressure that the big stage brings, that the $18 million still up for grabs today can thrust upon teams. LFY still, though, the tower advantage, Lumi, that is such a concern for them. They've yet to take a single one, and they've got the Lich. In theory, the team with the Lich should be looking for the tower advantage with the Frost Armor.
Oh, I guess the Prophet is doing a little bit more.
Yes, that is certainly the case. So, how do LFY progress from here? Do they try to do what Liquid did last game? Go a bit greedy, grab some extra Midases, rat it out? Can they even pull off that type of play?
I don't think so.
They've been trying to go for kills to get back in the game. They've mostly itemized the fight early with these 4 stabs being picked up, kind of relying on the Rupture damage, perhaps. We do now see 2 completed, a Hurricane Pike even coming. They're all gank items. They're all fighting items.
I think these
are not the farming tools.
I think you have to fight your way back. Like, if you buy Midas style,
the Alchemist ramps up so quickly that before your Midas even kicks online,
Could this
you
be
will
the
just lose
time?
buildings.
Could this be the opportunity? LFY, they see Matamba, they're gonna roll in, Rupture coming through, punch up in the air,
They can't even
silence him
kill
up.
him.
The Gale comes out, and now they recommit, they push him around like a ping pong ball, but he's still not dead yet. Now out comes the Nova, he gets off the Poison Nova! Matamba Man's gonna do a lot of damage in this fight. LFY need to back up with the Chain Frost bouncing almost perfectly under mind control, dropping him low. A Venom for a toss that's betrayed thus far, but now GH gets more. Punk drops. TDC with the TP out. He needs to get out quickly. He won't make it. Liquid grab a third. LFY all in on the fights, all in on the ganks. The way they've itemized, the way they've played, multiple smokes, and it is just not working now, Lumi.
Yeah.
Sure, an even trade as far as gold goes relatively, but an overall big loss for them. The Roche about to be picked up, a crucial checkbox being ticked off for Liquid.
I think LFY definitely was looking for kind of a random pickoff, and then they just want to slow down the Roshan. They really couldn't actually stop the
Gonna make
Roshan.
a move here on Monet. It looks like perhaps.
Got the force.
Tries to retreat out. Meanwhile, they're also streaming towards mid, and Super is racing away. The Aegis claimed by Miracle. Won't see any follow-up commitment from the MP. But Liquid, they hold that tower. Even while they're rushing, a Crystal Maiden alone drives a Terror Blade away.
In fact, that was a 5v4 engagement that LFY initiated, hoping to
they're
take the
gonna fight
tower.
bottom lane. Inflame going in, he's diving deep for Kuro. He just wants a simple support pickoff. That's all he hopes to get out of this, but can he even achieve that? Now Mind Control joins the fray. The Fissure comes in again! GH gets another. It's a puck down for a Crystal Maiden, and all the while, Alchemist pushing the top lane. LFY, these aren't trades. These are just losses for them overall. Still the tower stands, still Mind Control dodges away. They have no follow-up pursuit. Now the Venom joins the fray. Moday's in deep.
They got a
Moday's
TP out
in
right
trouble.
now.
Tries to get the auto text up, pushes his way in. Under Mind Control, but now Miracle, he responds. Coming in with the chain cross, bouncing on it. He's got the Aegis. He's got the Aegis. He will stay alive. Armlet could be toggled here, perhaps. Got to time it right. Backs out. LFY now a full-on retreat from them. They lose their Terror Blade. They lose their puck. Well, they get a profit out of it, but they still have not claimed a tower.
Or the life of Alchemist. This Alchemist is just way too big. Mantis out now. Online, I just don't think their lineup could actually deal with Illusion at this point, right? Who could actually kill them Illusions? Puck, maybe? That's it?
And now Mansa style completed. Yeah. The split push ramps up. And like you said, LFY just not that good at contesting the Illusions. They don't have a natural Hex. They don't have a Pugna with an Aghanims, you know, anything to instantly kill them. They don't even really have that much mobility to hunt the Illusions, like, globally around the map. So Liquid continue to get their plan together. The Sprout getting dropped. The Fissure comes with the Acid Spray laid down, and Inflame's in all kinds of trouble. Liquid quench the fire, and they will take the tower now as well. Tier 2 dropping one step closer to that game 3. It's still a long road, but they're getting there. Slowly but surely, GH, the commitment forward. He brings in the Fissure. He's got the Echo. He's gonna use it. No, the Sunder comes out. He retreats, he resets. He lets Miracle do the heavy lifting, and that is enough to get the kill. Afu with an uppercut to Sprout out, almost saving him, but and in the end, will go down. Liquid, a 3-for-1 exchange for them. Cores are melting. LFY are not farming. They're not split pushing. They haven't gone greedy. They're fighting and they're losing the fights. Liquid, tier 2, dropping here now. God, they are so far ahead. 16,000 gold, almost closing in on that 1,000 gold per minute advantage being accrued.
And part of the reason why they're so ahead is they're also defending every single tower. Mind control, porting around the map, making sure they don't lose the tier 1. Crystal Maiden, you saw earlier, defending tower. And yeah, sure, we see the Sunder being pulled off here, but it doesn't matter. They just overwhelm the Sunder. GH does end up going down, but right now it's LFY losing the war.
That is certainly the case. Liquid, already the Alk off to an 18,000 net worth accrued. So much for shutting the Alk down early. You know, LFY maybe thought they could do it. They went for this Bloodseeker pick, looking for strong lanes with the Lich, but Liquid outmaneuvered them. LFY were unable to respond, and now they play inside a huge hole, trying to crawl their way out, but the walls of that hole are slippery as GH only pokes his head out. Finally, maybe LFY can get something. No, GH! He's too quick! Just blinks away, zips out of there, and they're pushing top. So even if LFY get this tier 1, they're likely giving up a tier 2. It's about to drop. Mind control. Last hit claimed. The trade is there, but it's Not the dream scenario for LFY, not by any means.
Well, let's begin and test how good is the LFY high ground.
Can they defend? They have that Blood Right spam, but it's not the late game threat where, you know, you've got the talent for the reduced cooldown, and meanwhile, they're losing Super. Bloodseeker trapped out, he tries to run away, but the Alk stun, hounding him, locks him in position, slice, dice, see ya, Super is dead, and meanwhile also TPing out is the Tusk. Mind control, no way to cancel it. This Bloodseeker just doesn't feel like a hero. Earthshaker has done way more and even has the net worth to show it.
Yeah. Also, I don't think...
And we're comparing a support to a core there.
I don't think LFY could repel the pushes by blowing up the creep wave either, because you know, you could just make more Treants, you can spam down more wards, and you just put the Alchemist in the front. He sieges with a ton of items. I don't think LFY has enough damage to kill through Miracle. LFY has to find a way, but it's going to be tough. Monet's going to get caught out.
More coming. Meanwhile, LFY also streaming in, but the Echo in a row! Jeez! You're a goddamn hero! He finds 3, forcing LFY back. Now they can maul that Terrorblade, bring him down as well. Liquid, another clean win for them. They lose nothing, and they go straight into the base.
Miracle hitting building at this point. They got the Prophet teleporting in. They do not care about this Blood Right. Rupture is going to get spent, but I don't think he cares for that.
Push him around, even if he dies, he's going to buy back. The juggling, the team control. The tower isn't enough Blood Right. It might finish him. He's buying back Lumi. If he needs to, he'll come back in, and he might not be even required. As Liquid, looking for the melee, are about to grab it. LFY, how do they fight? They have a coil. They might want to engage now. There is no Aegis, but
they find the puck!
It's GH again! How does he keep on doing it?
Oh, the puck somehow still alive. Will tap the Shrine. Miracle has already claimed the top lane of Rax. No need to go, go crazy here. Just reset, wait for your Prophet come back, and go again. Slow and steady.
You know, I was gonna say after game 1, like they figured out the Keeper of the Light. You know, they give it away and then they still deal with it. But now GH showing, I don't have to play Keeper, I don't have to play IO, I've got a Shaker in my back pocket. It was actually the hero that he won the most games with out of all of his supports coming in, and you can see why now.
Yeah, I think it's very dangerous to assume that Team Liquid can only play one style or one set of heroes. We've seen Brewmother coming out, we've seen Huskar coming out, the Alchemist coming out. There's still a lot of cheese left to be discovered, and I definitely don't think this is cheese. I think the fact that they laned the Veno early on versus the Bloodseeker was the reason why that LFY is so far behind.
LFY, every time they have gone for this deep rotation, it has backfired. The trap has been sprung. They keep on attempting these hunting maneuvers, but the treants are there. If the smokes aren't up, LFY, even harder to pull these ganks off, and even fewer targets that are killable. Like maybe you go for the Veno, but very likely he's going to get off the Poison Nova. He's tanking up. The Shaker is always a threat to completely shut down your initiation. And of course, the Prophet, the Alk are getting too tanky to burst. So Liquid have more and more ways to punish. They still have those towers up with the shrines to give them a quick, ready response option. And they give up nothing freely. Now a 24,000 gold lead. They're almost at that iconic 1,000 gold per minute advantage mark. Now hitting 25K advantage at 25 minutes. I mean, the numbers are bad, Lumi. They're real bad for LFY. And this is bad too. They're gonna lose in Flame Bottom.
Displaying that Orchid, combination with the Shadow Blade, nothing much that the Puck could have done. I do want to mention your suggestion earlier of the Midas on Bloodseeker. We saw Miracle going for it when he had a tough time in the last game, and honestly, might have been the item choice this game. I was worried that the Midas might not have paid off in time, but he really needs to hit level 25 for them to actually have a chance. That Blood Right cooldown is probably going to be the best way to defend their buildings, but he's gone for the Radiance, and honestly, I'm not sure how much it'll do.
Yeah, can they farm their way back into this game? They're down 27,000 gold to an Alchemist and NP with no outer structures up. They still don't have the Radiance. They didn't go for any other farming tools to try and accelerate that. I mean, that is hopeful if you're an LFY fan.
They could go for the Roshan whenever Liquid wants, although they're just too busy farming the whole map. Miracles with the BOTs, taking every bounty room. That's a cool thing to do. Shrines have been down for LFY. Their map control is non-existent.
One lane down, Liquid, 2 lanes to go. Perhaps just wait for the next Roche. More tools to find those pickoffs coming in. Glimmer Cape on Kuro, Shadow Blade on the Shaker of GH. Already Mind Control has his. The mobility is there. They're going to commit on Kuro. Get the CM kill. It's something for LFY, but they don't get the big one. Profit's out of there.
And I guess the silver lining is that all of these ultimates are fairly low on cooldown, that you can't keep making those small ganks. I mean, the one CM kill doesn't mean anything, but if you capture a couple times...
The Dark Cloud, though, is Liquid are taking Roche, so...
I mean, they were going to take Roche regardless of what LFY is going to do, right? So, small something for LFY.
Miracle does snag the Aegis, Matumba the cheese. Liquid closing it on that round 2 siege. They show GH out in front.
Yep.
Unafraid of an LFY venture.
You were asking what can LFY do. I really like this kind of line of ward they have placed around their map. It just shows you that if somebody steps out of position a little bit, they have an option to pick them off. The heroes are fairly mobile in terms of the puck and whatnot. But
GH gonna rumble forward again.
Are they ready for these Shadow Blades?
Even if they are, it's tough to have the true sight everywhere. GH lying in wait from the trees. The sentry comes down. He blinks out. Close call there, but now trapped on a cliff, and in trouble is Afu. He gets pushed down to the low ground, but the pursuit coming out. Look for the TP. Look for the dive. They get the vision. They don't get the kill, but more importantly, they dodge that LFY foray. Even stepping outside the base is courageous from LFY. With the way this game has turned. Now an Assault Caress complete on the Alk. Prepare for the onslaught.
It's siege time, right? If you're Liquid?
I think so. Top lane's pushed in. Mid lane about to arrive at the base. They're going to push on bottom, so they maximize the distance that LFY have to travel to deal with the lane of Brax that's already caved in, while also fighting this fresh siege. Here comes Miracle onto the high ground. Strong up in front. They try to slow him down. His own illusion being turned against him here, doing something for now, but he just fights through it unaffected, at least for the time being. You can see Prophet also thinking about a creeping in maneuver. Miracle still at full HP. This tower's dropping. They're going to rupture him. Bloodright as well. Push back to safety. He can heal it off. Glimmer Cape even coming through. Miracle playing patient here. The Prophet ult ensures that the lanes will not push out. LFY, if they want, they could just sit back, wait out this Metamorphosis Lumi, and then LFY will have even less tools to deal with the siege.
Yeah. Go do it again here. We got the ultimate back on the Alchemist. Chemical Rage ready to go.
You can see the Prophet is rotated top. They're just going to play it slow, steady, patient. And as LFY rotate, now they start to come back in, pulling LFY apart at the seams. It's the Liquid way for sure. Illusion again being created. Pushing him back for a moment, but he gets a few swipes in. That tower continues to drop even through the Frost Armor. One step closer, one step closer. Liquid looking for the giant leap. They bring Miracle down to half. The Bloodright comes out. He's got to back away. The Glimmer Cape protects him.
He still has Aegis.
No rupture. Yeah, still Aegis.
Yeah, he's not worried.
And remember, he could have buyback for all they know. So in theory, they might have to kill him more than just the 2 times. He's in flame, tries to stall things out here. He's in pretty deep. Looking for the jump away. He does blink out. Facing the right direction. But the Trance just swarm back towards top. They've gotten the tower down. They close in on the second lane. And at some point, LFY, they're going to want to fight. But meanwhile, mid, look for the jump from the Shaker Fissure. Nice phase shift. He looks for the blink out, but the Prophet bounces through. He won't be able to retreat easily, but they're content with this. They don't even want to dive. The threat of the Echo is a bigger problem as LFY losing their range. Frost Armor, not enough illusions coming in. There's no more Metamorph. How do LFY hold? They're down 34,000 gold. There's an Alchemist terrorizing them. But Tumbaman diving in.
Chain stun city.
The chain stun is there. Backing away, won't get off the ultimate. Thunder not available. Base is crumbling. Liquid are going to pull it out. They've taken game 2. They force a deciding game 3. Lumi, I have to say, when they walked out of that booth after game 1, Matumbaman was smiling. Their manager, Mo, he was smiling. They didn't seem phased even in defeat. And they show it here that this is a resilient team.
For sure. I mean, they had their fair shares of 100-minute games. They also had fair shares of 20-minute games. This team could do it all. And I think this game was due to the very, very smart drafting of Kuro and the very smart laning of Team Liquid. I almost felt like this game ended at 10 minutes in.
I would agree, and I'm not sure what the response could have been from LFY. They did leave that Lich top. It slowed down the Nature's Prophet early. Maybe he could have been sent elsewhere. They tried to make some rotations with Afu, but Liquid were ready every step of the way So now we have a game 3 on the horizon. Newbie sitting back as the final boss, awaiting the victor. Feels like it could be either team's game, and so much of it going to come down to the draft too. The execution has been on point from both teams.
Yeah, that's for sure. I felt like even though LFY lost here, they still play extremely well. But to break it down further, let's send it back to J9 and the boys.
Thank you, gentlemen. I'm up here with the boys, and what a shift in tone that match was. I mean, Peter, it was you who was saying this actually looks like a Team Liquid draft in this game.
Yeah, it was intolerable to play, right? LFI was just like, what do we do? There's treants everywhere. There's Venomancer wards. We got to worry about this Alchemist who's, you know, farming at 30K net worth. Like, that's how Liquid plays. They put pressure on you.
You know, we were just like talking before the game that they can't protect Alc mid. They just put him safe lane.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Yep.
And I mean, with Venomancer and Nature's Prophet being pretty stable laners early, there's really not a lot of pressure that Team Liquid felt at any points. I mean, the kill counts were kind of even for a while, but the net worth was just swinging hard in Team Liquid's favor almost from the beginning.
Don't really prefer Super on the Bloodseeker too. Usually they give him a lane that's like always a wash, like a DK lane, a Medusa lane. You know, you can't really lose that lane that hard. That lane he got crushed. It reminded me of TI5 where Shiki played Bloodseeker versus Sumeo's Lina. He just like got constantly dominated. This time there was GH involved, but he was useless the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, 26 minutes in, Bloodseeker had phase boots, a stick, and one other small item, a Force Staff.
Yeah, he was working towards Force Staff. It was, I think that hero's a little bit overrated. I mean, we'll see in the grand finals when Newbie probably first twos it every game. But for me, I think the hero kind of has some gaps, and he doesn't really get a lot done in every game.
Well, Purge has some thoughts about how the draft went and about how the opening of the game went. Walk us through what you're thinking.
Well, it did come down to the lanes a lot. The cool thing about the draft and maybe the things to look at was, again, like you guys are talking about, the Bloodseeker has been a feature of a lot of different games and kind of seeing how things develop. But the cool thing is that he doesn't lane very well against heroes that output a huge amount of damage. And that's because whenever he uses Blood Rage, he takes extra damage as well. And the other cool thing was the Terrorblade in response to the Nature's Prophet, because that hero has the highest base armor in the game and can resist the lane very well. But when you actually match up the Venomancer against the Bloodseeker, he's just constantly getting dominated. That is the start of the lane, and he's already lost a third of his health. And it's difficult for him to get it back. And they're able to kill Nature's Prophet, but as soon as Venomancer just throws out Venomous Gales, every single time Bloodseeker is going to have an awful time. So consistently just getting pressured in the early game, and just general good rotations from all the supports. And once Venomancer hits the mid game as well, this is the part where he also matches up very well against the Terrorblade. It's another hero that doesn't deal extremely well with extremely high damage outputs, which is exactly what Venomancer does. It forces Terrorblade to have to sunder his allies, because all they have to do is Gale and Venomous, whatever his ulti's called, Poison Nova, and he is going to go down. And then they just go in for the cleanup every time. And almost every time Monet was able to get a kill before dying, but that's not good enough when you're getting 3 heroes killed, and in the whole portion of the game, Bloodseeker just can't farm. So this just kept happening continuously, and he's the one that's actually supposed to deal with the other problem in the game, which is Miracle on the Alchemist. And you might have been wondering, like, what is he doing all game? And the answer is pretty much whatever the hell he wanted to, just messing around.
Yeah, and I mean, with that, Miracle winds up being the MVP of the match. I mean, his net worth was double everyone else's. Honestly, the net worth graph looked kind of like the prize pool graph for this tournament. It's a little bit top heavy. Had something like 15K net worth, and second was 6.
It's just what Alchemists do. And yeah, they get super far ahead. And that game was particularly great for Miracle because he didn't, you know, like Purge was saying, he could really do whatever he wanted and go wherever he wanted and farm neutral creeps forever. His team was winning fights 4v5. Venomancer, Nature's Prophet, it was so much damage happening.
It was just a perfect draft for Liquid, I think, with his Venomancer and Prophets. It's like they were winning fights without the Alchemist, and that is exactly how you want to play the Alchemist. So
totally ignoring Caudle in that draft.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, maybe it's just not for us in this series.
I like it.
I think it's definitely smart. It's a good adaptation. I think that there'll probably be another ban. Maybe they'll ban the Shaker this time. Give up Necrophos or give up Wisp even. Did they try that?
I think they ban out the Shaker, probably take Nick's first phase, and it deals with Nature's Prophet and it deals with Necrophos.
The combination of Furion and Earthshaker together, I think, is just too much. I look at, like, if you give up Furion, which I think is one of the best heroes right now in Dota, you really kind of want that Earthshaker to help deal with all the summons and just get rid of everything in team fights. But then if somebody picks those two together, you know, not only are they getting a great hero in Earthshaker, but they're deny picking your counter to all these summons.
So if we extend that logic to this upcoming draft, Team Liquid, again, is still looking strong on the drafting phase. How does LFY adjust to respond?
comes down to first pick and second pick as well, and we don't really know which team that choose what. But I mean, they have two options now, right? They can like either try to go for the same kind of draft, but just like switch a small thing. And we could see that the newbie versus LFY, the game, they go like newbie picks the same two heroes every 3 games because they feel they are the best for them against that team. And I think LFY can kind of do the same here and like not mix mix it up a bit too much, like with the Wisp or something.
Waiting on the Lich pick might be a good idea. The hero, you did really well in game 1. Game 2, it kind of fell flat, and maybe game 3, just kind of lower your priority on it. And you know, if they pick Furion and all these Venomancer wards, and they actually just fight you at a distance, maybe it's best to go with a different hero.
Inflame has been still looking incredibly strong on Puck. I mean, he wasn't able to get the same level of farm that game, wasn't able to have the same type of impact. Do you think that Puck is still a high priority pick for LFY?
Certainly. I think this game was a bad representation of how good Puck is and how good Inflame is at the hero. They lost like all their lanes, and they had an Alchemist farming. Things just weren't going their way at all. So it's hard to take too much from player performance in that game. I think it was more a drafting and strategy victory for Team Liquid here.
Yeah, I mean, even at the start of the game, Afu looked really good, bombing in, getting nice picks.
Afu was all over the place. On Tusk, he was getting a bunch of kills, but unfortunately, Tusk is not a hero that can win you the game.
Ken in the pub all-star match, man, if Tusk gets a Shadow Blade, it's over.
Yeah, it is a little bit different of a beast here in the lower bracket finals.
That is true.
TI7.
On the final day. Now, I'm curious about, I want to talk more about some of the key picks that LFY should look for to respond to this Earthshaker Furion threat that we're seeing out of Team Liquid.
It's tough. You need a lot of clear, but you also, I mean, Earthshaker is just such a good anti-core. It's hard to like say there's one specific hero that can help solve those problems. It's, you want to have the vision so that way you can keep track of Earthshaker, but you also need to deal with all these treants. Maybe I like Sven, maybe some BKB hero that can deal with Furion in lane and then transition into being effective in the mid to late game.
Maybe even taking Furion first yourself. I think it's much more versatile than the Puck. Puck struggled a lot. They drafted very well against the Bloodseeker too. Like none of these heroes were really vulnerable. Alchemist doesn't really care that much. And Nature's Prophet did very well in the lane. Venom destroyed the Bloodseeker all game.
Prophet is also quite hard to counter because he can actually like TP to lanes and just find farm there as well to just like gank other lanes. But it's more that they need a catch hero as well to be able to shut him down like when they actually find him.
Yeah, I would like to see either LFY take Furion or Earthshaker for themselves. I don't want to see them give Liquid that combo again.
Do we know who has first or second pick?
We'll find out in a little bit.
It's usually coin flip for game number 3.
Yeah, and this is, of course, the deciding match. Whoever wins this advances to the grand final. Whoever loses will be eliminated in third. Doesn't hurt too much to be eliminated in third. You will get $2.5 million for the losing team. There's nothing wrong with third place.
I can tell you from experience, third place doesn't feel that good.
And I can tell you from experience that first place feels very good.
So sick. Now with this match coming up, I know the hype in the crowd is real, and Slacks is out there trying to give us all the deets. What's going down, Slacks?
Hello, Day 9. It's time for Game 3. Are you people ready for this? Yes! There it is. We're over here in the VIP section. Very fancy stuff, and this place is packed. How are you feeling about this last game? Are you ready?
Let's go, Liquid.
Hey! Yeah. You got any love for the non-Liquid?
For the non-Liquid?
Yes, any team but Liquid. Say something nice.
Team Slacks.
Come on, no! I'm talking about them!
No, LFY have shown a really great tournament. They have a great Dota, and I have a great deal of respect for them. So I feel like the next game is going to be really tight. Yep. So even if my heart is with Liquid, I feel that the game is going to be insane.
That's what we're talking about. We're here for the Dota, isn't that right, people? Woo! And before I let you go, I did find a very special guest. A man chilling out. Ladies and gentlemen, the man who got second place last year, it's Mr. Moo!
Hey, guys.
Those are moos, not boos. You know that, right?
I didn't know at first, to be honest.
All right, any advice to give to those teams going out there today in your position that you were in last year?
Woo. They just got to play to win, man. Like, no regrets. Do everything you can. Just anything.
All right, well, fantastic. I'm sure we're going to see them play to win, and we're all ready for that game 3. The crowd is hyped, and we're going to send it back to you guys on the panel. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Slacks. Thank you, Moo. Yes, audience, moo, moo, moo.
I was also like first, boo? No.
Yeah, no, I actually was like, oh my God, they hate him. They can't stand that he showed back up to, oh no, that's his name. His name's Moo. Okay, everything's fine. Everything's going to be all right. Now, going into this match, you know, Moo said it kind of casually, got to play to win in these sorts of situations. Bulba even expanded upon that too many teams play to not lose. They wind up being in a position where they're trying to play safe. They're trying to not take those risky plays, and it's so important, especially for the cores, to get in there, to run at you, man. Like EE was saying, man, these teams that just keep running at you, keep getting these pickoffs, keep getting these kills.
I think both teams are going to be very confident to go into this game and play, because both of them have had a like super well tournament. Liquid is coming from the lower bracket and had like such a good run there, and LFY 13-0 in the group stage, and then came to the upper bracket finals. And
even though we were joking about third place not being a desired result, all the teams here can't be disappointed in themselves. People come to TI, and I think a lot of people's expectation is, oh yes, I want to win, but top 3 is like really where you want to be, and that's like where you really feel good about yourself. They've all done that. I don't think anybody at this point is playing to lose. I'm pretty sure they're all just like giving it their best.
It's going to be an unbelievably exciting finish to this series as we go into Game 3. LFY came from winners. Team Liquid has won series after series after series in lowers, and one more win would put them in the grand finals. Who will it be? Let's go to Game 3.
LFY versus Team Liquid. Game 3.
Talked about the importance of the draft at this tournament. Earthshaker, such a high pick. There it is, popping out right away on the side of LFY.
Yes, variation. We're mixing it up. We're adapting. Game 3, what have you learned?
It probably won the coin flip. This is the standard opener if you have first pick versus Team Liquid. You ban Wisp, you ban Caudle, you take Shaker. If you can play it, every team at this level definitely should be able to.
What do they go for now? I've seen a lot of teams in response to Shaker, they go for Batrider, Night Stalker, straight to Furion, and wow, Rubik. Ooh. A little bit different. And there's the Batrider. People seem to like this hero quite a lot against Furion. Lanes, I think the lane matchup is somewhat even, maybe a little Furion favored. But in the mid to late game, Batrider is one of the best heroes for not only finding Furion, but killing him.
I think they first phase banned Alchemist. Was it Alchemist?
No, it was Caudle and Wisp.
Yeah.
On
and then
the
it was
other side.
NS and AA, I think.
NS and AA, okay.
Yeah,
I've hard time
seeing Ancient Apparition banned by Team Liquid very frequently. They like strategies that involve a lot of healing. Ancient Apparition's ultimate denies healing, so they ban it right away.
Liquid has been abusing the cheesier side of Dota, I guess you could say, right? Like the Alchemists and the Huskars and the Broodmothers, and just like the really annoying style of play. But that's how you win tournaments. You play what's best. That's all that matters.
And at the same time, it's like actually very hard to win with these heroes like more than once, and they have proved that they can do it.
You understand what I'm saying, though, right?
I mean,
I do. But at the same time, as I was talking about before, I think the game where they played like yesterday when they had Husker, I think a lot of teams would actually have lost that game. It's like very easy to.
They're certainly playing it very well. But
it's yeah,
it's still a Husker.
It's like very like
you know what I mean?
it's just very like different from other teams here. It's not many teams that actually pick both Brood and Husker.
Definitely. But we saw like in that Huskar game against LGD, right? LGD looked like they were clueless. It looked like they looked like they were not a good team.
Especially
but they are a good team.
Yeah, and it's a hero that like you have to play it against it a lot of the times to actually know how to counter it.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, Rubik, the pickup for Team Liquid to pair with Nature's Prophet. Seems like just safe picks for Team Liquid, denying the combination of Earthshaker and Nature's Prophet.
Sven and Troll both banned.
The Rubik is most likely like to just keep it quite open because they only see the like Shaker and they don't really want to commit to anything.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to steal Fissure. That's an incredibly good spell to steal on Rubik. Also, an instantaneous lift disable for Batrider if he blinks in and lassos somebody. That could be pretty effective as well.
I wonder why they banned Troll. I don't think Troll's particularly good versus Nature's Prophet in lane or even in the mid game.
He has quite high armor at least for the Treants.
We saw Terribly get picked and he got crushed.
No good. Not very many good spells to steal for Rubik. other than the ult. Not that that would require a ban.
I was thinking, there's a lot of other heroes.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm just...
Yeah.
Team Liquid have used almost half of their reserve time for this critical pick 3.
There's a Necrophos too in the pool as well.
Wow, Spirit Breaker, they're going for it.
Now, Spirit Breaker has not been picked too often, but in a few games at the main event, Spirit Breaker was one of the highest impact heroes.
So you think Kuroki will play Spirit Breaker?
Yeah, he
and
usually
GH Rubik?
both
Or
of them.
is this a GH Spirit Breaker?
I mean, Kuroki has been playing the Spirit Breaker a lot of the times before, but I was thinking that he was going to play the Rubik just because...
That's his hero.
Yeah.
He is the Rubik.
But
Random Magus.
at the same time, if GH is playing the Rubik, it's not really the GH kind of hero that we've been seeing him playing before.
It's a little
that
bit
really
different.
excels at.
Yeah, it's still a hero that can make big plays and get a lot done. I'm sure he plays a phenomenal Rubik as well.
For sure. It's more that it's like the Visage pick that we saw him play
Exactly.
the other day. That was really not his type of playstyle, or it might have just been that game.
I'm curious because Rubik, you know, you're mentioning this is a pick that doesn't really reveal anything. Does Spirit Breaker reveal what these next 2 picks might be for Liquid, or at least a theme that Liquid's looking for?
It definitely says a lot about your draft. It speaks more about what your possibilities are when you're up against this hero. It's incredibly hard to split push. There's going to be constant fights that Spirit Breaker is going to... You know, what Spirit Breaker does on the map, he just walks around, he finds a hero, and he charges that hero. And then the rest of his team kind of follows up on that. So LFY needs to be ready for these charges and ready to take on massive team fights at all stages of like the early game.
And we don't like heroes like, let's say, Lich. Lich, I think, is really terrible for Nature's Prophet Spirit Breaker. Doesn't really stop the charge.
Yes.
You might win the lane, but you're
Witch
gonna
Doctor's
get
great.
crushed.
Witch Doctor has the cask that can help deal with some of the treants in the early game. Also, a nice disable for Spirit Breaker. It's really, really difficult for Spirit Breaker to charge an ulti combo up against the Witch Doctor because he's going to be getting hit by that cask at least once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times if he's unlucky.
The Witch Doctor is also one of the strongest laning heroes, as Peter said, with the cask. So they might want to, like LFY might want to try to go for a more lane dominance lineup this game compared to the last one.
Let's not forget that Liquid has the last pick in this draft. You need to be on the lookout for Miracle playing an incredibly high impact hero, which is on its way. Could be that Alchemist again.
Yeah, this is a reasonable setup for the Alchemist. Obviously, Rubik, Spirit Breaker, great at disrupting enemy lanes. Nature's Prophet and Venomancer, very strong in lane anyways.
Do you think they would play Morphling without Lich on Liquid for Miracle again?
I think it's pretty good versus lineup. I think AM's also a very realistic possibility.
Yeah.
I think I don't think that they will pick him, to be honest, but and they will probably ban Alchemist from LFY because they picked it with these 2 core heroes from
I definitely
Liquid
think Alchemist is the
game.
ban. So what is there a... Oh, taking the Morph.
They're taking Morph instead, yeah.
I love it. What kind of... So do you leave Alchemist? Morphling's pretty good against Alchemist because you can just take the Radiance, but I feel like that's a little risky.
I think you can get like run over before
certainly
Morph comes online.
Yeah, definitely.
So Team Liquid needs a carry that can get huge.
A strategy used in most games. Farming your carry. Maybe a Lincoln Sphere carry? Something to help with Lasso? They don't really have any, other than that Rubik lift, nothing super defensive to save whoever the Lasso target is. I mean, there's Weaver, but that doesn't seem like a miracle hero. There's still...
Invoker, I suppose, but not really the right click that you need.
Melees really aren't that great versus Morphling.
TA suffers a lot versus Bat.
I could see Invoker work if they try to just pressure them early on to not let Morph get...
Miracle hasn't won that much on Invoker this tournament. It's actually been one of his weaker heroes. But definitely an option. Yeah, they leave in the Alchemist. Dangerous game. Ooh. That's a confident ban right there. Just saying, you go ahead, take your Alchemist. Oh wait, maybe they take it themselves.
Doesn't that seem like there would not quite be enough farm for both Morphling and Alchemist?
Morphling could transition to like that 3 position and just throw out a bunch of stuns. I don't know. I mean, this is drafts are going to get crazy, especially in the grand finals in a best of 5. There's going to be a lot of mind games going on. Embrace the mind games. How creative can we get?
Team Liquid's
LFY's final pick is Death Prophet. Strong at pushing.
Yeah, a little bit of early game, some nice AoE wave clear for the Treants. He's like, Death Prophet's actually struggled against Venomancer because he's, Bucking Matt was talking about it. Death Prophet is a very movement speed dependent hero, and Venomancer will be throwing out slows left and right.
Oh, that's a great point. Yeah, that breaks the links.
Yeah, certainly that.
Siphon.
Yeah, also being able to run around and put your ultimate on the
At the same time, DP is good in the sense that she can actually like get health from her Siphon spirits.
Yeah.
So when Venomancer is using all of his spells and the Spirit Breaker charges in on you, you like can just drop 4 of them.
It's
and,
tough. It's tough to gank Death Prophet as Spirit Breaker because you're always just going to get siphoned up.
Yeah.
They still go with the Alchemist? What do you think?
I don't like it so much for Smorfling.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, what else do they have?
I'm trying to think.
Well, it looks like Team Liquid also struggling with the final pick.
I think you just go for it. Game 3, lower bracket finals, TI7. Stick to your guns.
It's gonna put pressure on LFY. At least if they pick the Alchemist, they're gonna be pressured from this last game that they're gonna have to shut him down.
One thing you don't want to do is put Miracle on a hero that he's not incredibly comfortable with.
Terrorblade.
Terrorblade, all right. Well,
I wanna
definitely.
fight them.
We'll see. It's a little bit different. Miracle certainly can play this hero incredibly well, but it is not the traditional Team Liquid lineup that we're used to seeing.
Well, we saw Team Liquid struggle when it was not a Team Liquid style lineup. This might be LFY's ticket to the grand finals. It is now time for your final lower bracket match. Take it away, casters.
Game 1 was crisp, confident, and virtually flawless from LFY. Forget about that. Game 2, a complete stop by Liquid. Forget about that as well. All that matters, Lumi, is this Game 3 right here, right now. 2 top teams in the groups. Whoever takes this goes on to the grand finals. Newbie waiting in that best-of-5 finals.
As we get deeper and deeper into a best-of-3 series and later on a best-of-5 series, the draft starts to get a little bit more and more wonky. And I think this was one of those drafts. We had the panel talking about GH on the Rubik, a hero that kind of will just sit in the lane and not affect the map too much. But instead, it's going to be Kuroki charging around. The last time we've seen a captain do that was Puppey.
And he dominated.
Yeah.
I think there were 7 or 8 successful charge ganks in a row. Can Kuro match what Puppey achieved? We'll see. This time around, there's the Fissure, there's the cast. Morphling's a tough gank. Batrider, potentially a kill. I don't think it's quite as good of a Spirit Breaker game as that one was for Puppey, but that said, they do have the Prophet +1 factor, and that's always something you have to keep in mind.
Yeah, I think I need to watch the mid matchup. Is it going to be Venomancer versus Death Prophet? Because
speaking of the mid matchup, Miracle, perhaps he's heading mid here, is playing the Terrorblade as that early pulled regen with the Poor Man's Shield. So does LFY, do they mix these lanes up?
Ooh, I really like the warding coming out from LFY. Look at the 2 river wards. This is actually pretty rare to see, and they just want to make sure that every time that there are charges to the mid lane, they will be fully aware of it.
Mind control already, trying to get his bully game on. So Liquid go with the offensive try set up initially. You can see some deep zoning, trying to pressure this side lane Morphling. Every little poke counts.
There are a lot of taunts on Prophet. I think he has more taunts than any other heroes, and I think that one by far is the best taunt.
Raining in the gold. Well, they might not have drafted the Alchemist, but Prophet can certainly farm when duty calls. So how will they settle down here with the lanes? At least for now, the Spirit Breaker going to handle the block. It does look like the Terrorblade mid. Do you think LFY expected this laning setup? And how will Terrorblade fail? Or fare, I should say. Poor choice of words. Versus the...
Well,
Prophet.
if GH goes for the courier snipe, which he's not going to get because Afu will be the secondary courier to bridge it through.
Charge comes in, early harass here.
Lift him up, toss him back.
They are going to look for more. They lift him. They drop him.
First blood,
maybe. Can they finish up
One more hit.
Fissure? One more, they get him! Liquid with the early first blood.
You asked how he is going to fare. If he gets a first blood, he is going to do just fine. He might have a little bit of trouble as Metamorphosis is down for 2 minutes, but that high base armor, the fact that he is going to get a lot of rotation support from the Spirit Breaker, I think Miracle's going to be just fine.
They're charging top now, setting up for Monet. Does Kuro really want to dive this tower? He crossed the tree line, then backs away. So our other lane, this bottom setup is going to be a Venomancer taking on a Batrider 1v1. Now we have seen Batriders get solo kills in that matchup. Generally Veno, a 1v1 specialist. So we'll see how it works out. In Flames.
This is actually one of the worst matchups in the game. And
on there.
Like what we're watching right now is the reason why.
Oh, that's a kill attempt. Matumba. They're also looking to dive the top lane simultaneously. 5 stacks. Matumba clean alive for now. Burning, but not going to fall. And now diving forward. DDC is probably the easier kill, but it's Monet they won. It might be Monet they get. Kuro's still there. Cutting him off at the pass. Body blocking it. Monet slowly being worked down. This Morphling. We're the masters of Liquid, say Team Liquid, as they conquer him and now turn back to the tower. They're already bringing this tower down quickly, Lumi. And GH is diving deeper. The laning setup has caught LFY off guard. Can they at least get a counter kill? GH with the lift back, run away. Witch Doctor is pretty high base damage. This tower is going to fall sub 3 minutes at this rate. Where is the defense from LFY? They're getting pushed in so rapidly.
Orphle is notoriously one of the worst laning heroes because his stats are just not great. His range is very low. And even though Witch Doctor is such a good support overall in the laning stage,
he's squishy.
Yeah,
he's a little immobile. And Liquid, first blood, second blood, tower down. They're farming decently mid in the meanwhile. Miracle holding his own here early against Super. The Veno, sure, struggling quite a bit bottom, but he's not dying, at least for now. So Liquid off to a strong start in this deciding.
Courier gonna get sniped on the mid lane.
Mind Control gets it. This is the dream start for Liquid.
They gotta cut him off. They gotta force a kill here.
Through. He can just run the other way. Where's the follow-up? Nobody else coming in. Mind Control, patient. They're gonna slow